What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Amalgam Show. I'm one of your hosts, Keena Johnson, alongside Dean Kaminsky.
Hey.
Who won't tell me what's wrong.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong.
Nathaniel Redden.
Hey.
And special guest, Shannon. I've forgotten already.
Don't worry. You can leave it. It's okay.
Shannon.
Don't have it. It's fine.
See, I was gonna say don't forget Hagler, but I was like, surely he won't.
4 seconds in, fuck it, alright, whatever.
It's like,
What's the Amalgam Show about, Dean?
this is where we talk about pop culture things that we care about and nerdy things, and that's paraphrasing. Yep. Take it away, Keena.
This week's topic is going to be Pokémon.
Yes,
Because you wanted to talk about Pokemon more than the actual topic last week.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what was the actual topic last
It was
week?
like open world games, but like we kept going like, no, but Pokemon though. It was like, I fucking guess. But first, some housekeeping.
Housekeeping.
Be sure to check out our Dragon Ball Super discussion video.
You joined a cult.
Apparently.
It's just Kyron wants
Don't
to
drink
have
Kool-Aid.
No, I bug it up saying it.
Oh,
And then Kyron just latched onto it, and now you've all latched onto it.
I just said it because Kyron said it.
I just said it because we all said it. It's just a ritual.
There is no pizza time this week, but we will have our first Let's Play going up, and that'll be for
Keeping 1, 2, 1, 1.
our first Let's Play for Dragon Ball Fighters will be up, and that was fun.
Yes.
If you have any questions for the show, please comment below and email us at amalgamshow@gmail.com.
Amalgam's hell.
And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. But first, what are we into this week?
Oh god, we're gonna take so
I feel like Dean should start off.
Oh fuck. Where do I start? This is bullshit. I have been playing For Honor. Yeah, that was this week.
Or was it Dishonored? I can't remember.
Call back. No. Yeah, before Keena tried to tell me that For Honor had some dedicated servers coming up tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, I didn't know that.
I think they were meant to roll it out with the last update.
Yeah.
They fucked up.
So that game still have a decent player base?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
Ubisoft game. Every online just seems to
It's
just
only
keep
for certain
going.
game modes though, like Duel, not so much. Brawl, kind of. It's mainly like your Dominion, and they've got a new one called Tribute.
Okay.
Yeah, but whatever. But yeah, when Keena told me, for some reason when he said For Honor, well, I thought of Dishonor or Dishonored, and he's like, "Oh, you played Dishonored." In my head, anyway. He's like, "Oh, you played Dishonored, didn't you?" I was like, "Yeah, but I got really pissed off because I tried to get the achievement where you can kill anybody, and I just kept killing people." And he's like,
Just sitting there like, wait a second,
I'm
hold
like,
up.
oh,
that's
that's
the
really
whole
hard.
point.
In my brain, I'm thinking, it's really hard in an online
Yeah.
game, but I
Yeah,
get
to
it.
know-
in an online deathmatch, yeah.
You gotta kill everyone who plays this game.
Yeah.
No, you gotta not kill everyone.
Yeah, you gotta sit in the
Lose
corner
every
and
time.
just
Yeah.
wave your sword.
Wait 15 minutes.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, well, it's getting dedicated servers." I'm like, "It had multiplayer." I was just really confused, and I was like, "Wait, did you say bro?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "That makes more sense."
Yeah, no, yeah, fair enough.
So yeah, no. But yeah, I've been playing For Honor. I talked about how I got training from the #1 peacekeeper, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I still don't know how that works, but...
So basically, there's like a website which tells you
Oh, okay.
who's the top ranking, and so I got his game tag, and I was like, "Yo, train me," and he was like, "Yeah, righto." So we joined a game.
Casual
and
this guy is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
sure,
just,
whatever.
He's just like, "Yeah, I'll train you." He's
That's
like,
pretty
"Yeah,
cool.
I'm #1, whatever, blah blah blah," and he gave me all these tips and tricks. I was like, "Nice."
And then you stabbed him in the back.
And then I killed him. No.
There can be
I'm-
only
I have the
one.
high ground now, #1.
Yeah.
Ultra instinct peacekeeper.
So yeah, no, I'm slowly getting up the leaderboard. I don't know what I'm ranked at now because I haven't played it much this week, but that's probably the only.
Yeah, I think you
real-
said top 12 last time.
You was like
Possibly.
top, like something.
It was higher than 10%, but yeah,
Yeah, percentage.
it was getting up there.
Anything else?
I had a housewarming party.
That was fun.
Yeah, a lot of alcohol, a lot of jelly shots.
Lots of jelly shots.
That's not a good idea.
They were.
It's a bad idea.
I've never had jelly shots
It was-
before, and they were super potent. I'm like, these are vodka.
Yeah.
aren't they?
The
I'm
problem
like,
with jelly
"They're
shots, and everyone knows this, is that they taste so good, and then
Well-
they all kind of they all kind of sit in your stomach for a second, and then they dissolve instantly, and they all hit you at once, and then you wake up in a field on the street.
The thing is, like,
We were
this
trapped.
was my first one, like, first time making them myself.
That was
So-
super strong.
What was the vodka to Jello ratio?
Well, the recipe said for every sachet put 250 mils of hot water, and then when it dissolves, put 200 mils of cold water, and I just replaced the cold water with vodka.
I see your logic. I probably would have done the same
Well,
thing.
I googled it,
Oh
and it was like a similar recipe to that, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'll just do that." And so I did that, and it didn't work.
I think it did
resulted in
work.
Jess having like almost a breakdown.
Yeah, I think she had about 20 of like the 87 I made.
Whoa.
And
Oh, so it was-
yeah, because she was just like, this is my roommate, by the way. She just kind of just walked up to the fridge every, I don't know, 10 minutes and just grabbed a bunch of shots.
And
Gave,
just gave them
gave
to
one
her.
to everybody that was around, and then just like had one herself.
Yeah, one for you,
She
two
did
for
And
me.
then
So
there was
much.
like, I think by the end of the night there were like 5 left, and someone was like, "Oh, there's 5 left, ha ha ha." She's like, "Not for long." And then there were none the next
Jesus.
morning. So
I know, like, by the end of the night, like, you and Righty were just like, you want them, Keena? I'm just like, okay.
Well, I was just like, no. Like, after the second one, I think, that you gave me, she came up to me like another 3 times. I'm like, no, I don't want them. And then she just put it in my lap. So I'm like, Righty, you can have it. And then Righty's like, I don't want them anymore. And
Well,
then I just gave them to Keena.
Because I didn't have to drive.
I became really scared of them because when it first started, I was just having like normal drinks, and then Jess was like, "Here you go," and I was like, "Oh, okay, I suppose since I made them." And so I had it, and I didn't realize it would be so potent, and just the fact that there was so much vodka in my mouth, I nearly vomited, and I was like, "Fuck! If I vomit this early, I'm not going to hear the end of it."
Yeah.
Throughout the night, though, I guess I grew a tolerance to them. Like, I was just like, "Fuck it! I'm not going to chew them." I'm just
Yeah,
gonna-
you gotta put
Yeah,
them down.
yeah.
Because I had made
Yeah.
that mistake
Yeah.
my first time with
Yeah.
that lot anyway. That night,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Because it just sat in my mouth.
what
and I
vodka
was
did
like,
you use, by the way?
Smirnoff.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
I used a bottle and
It
3/4.
tasted like Ruskov.
Yeah, it was Smirnoff. I'll probably use an apple flavored one next time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That would be.
Oh, there's an idea.
Yeah. Hopefully that'll help. But I'll obviously make them less potent as well. But
I think go more.
because that costs a lot of
Go
money.
more.
I think you should
Yeah.
have like potent and then less potent ones. Just like
Make
put them in
like
a separate
killer
bowl.
one where it's like boiled vodka.
Boiled
vodka
with vodka.
And then just
Say.
vodka to cool it down.
Could you even? Can you boil vodka?
Yeah, it'd have a
Yeah.
boil.
Oh, you
point.
can't freeze it.
No, you
Well,
can.
just not in a regular freezer.
I had a freezer in university that had the ability to freeze vodka.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was insane.
Wow.
We decided to put vodka in the freezer because we were
keep
like,
it
yeah,
cool.
we'll keep
Yeah.
it cold so that we'll use it tonight. And we went back to look at it later on in the day, and it was just a solid block inside a glass case. And we were like, what the fuck? What?
What vodka was it?
That was Absolute.
Jesus Christ.
Shit.
Yeah, and we're like, we didn't have that vodka that night because we couldn't get it, like chipping away at it. Like this is
It's just like a.
let's just go get a 6-pack each and call it a night.
It's like a vodka ice block.
I've done the
Oh.
I've done the beer ice block where you have it like the beer frozen, and then you tap the bottom of the glass and that cap
Oh,
pops
and, like,
off,
snap
and then
freezes?
it snap freezes.
Yeah.
It like pops off
Yeah.
the cap, and then it just starts overflowing with like this
Okay, well, I've never seen that.
slushy.
Yeah, like a beer Slurpee.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Beer slurpee. Anyway, what have you been into this week, Dan?
Video
yeah,
game.
no,
Video
that,
game.
yeah, that's probably it. And work.
Yeah.
I had work the next day.
Oh, really?
And since I was drinking, because I was drinking vodka energy like for most of the night, I had work at like 3 to 8, because I owed someone a shift. And I remember halfway through my shift, I was just sitting at the tills, and then I just had a heart problem. My heart was just hurting, and I was like, I don't know what to do here, because I'm too young to say I'm having a heart attack. But also, I could be having a heart attack.
This is how I die.
Yeah. I was just like, look, if I die, I'll be right.
Yeah. I had a good
Use
run.
that energy to get people through the checkout.
How, like,
faster.
I was still smiling at people. I was like, how's your day going? They're like, good. How's yours? I'm like, yep, it's great.
I can hear my pulse in my skull. Aha!
I'm not the safety officer or anything.
I was in a different store. So
Okay.
it doesn't count. But yeah, no.
What have you been up to?
It's about it.
You didn't even let him finish it.
Yeah,
What have you been up to?
Well, he's been running out of things to say.
I have
Oh, I'm sorry.
been
I thought you were wrapping
playing.
up.
I got PS4.
We've established this.
Yeah. And I've been
He's
playing.
very excited.
Yeah, I've been playing lots of
Don't
games.
go cockroaches in it.
Well, okay, so
Oh, okay, you already know.
no. Couple of things. On Sunday, I had you over and a bunch of other people rocked up as well with like there's Tim and Michael and we have a lot of friends with generic names.
Yeah. Tim, Alan, Bob, Jack, John. Yeah.
But they
Keena.
But we had some KFC nugs and we ate some KFC nugs.
Yep.
And we watched Super, the latest episode, and that was pretty good.
Should have
And
checked it out.
then
Discussion video.
we continued on to
Went for
we went for a swim eventually. But
we
also
played like some Xbox 360
played
games.
Fighters,
Yeah.
and then we played something else for
Burst Limit.
Burst Limit on the Xbox 360.
Because Nathaniel was sick of losing. So
I
it's
won
like,
against
hey.
him, but then I played as Broly and he went as Freezer and I lost. And then
and we went for a swim.
we went for a swim, and when we came back, we decided to get all of the Xbox controllers working. We played some Halo 3.
Yep.
That
Your
was
version of Halo 3?
Yeah, that version of
Oh,
Halo 3.
fucking hate
I
that.
fucking love it.
I don't.
It's like one bullet will kill you.
I don't mind the one bullet.
Oh, you're like
yeah.
the
And like you run around super fast.
And
Like
you
it's-
jump really high.
The
Oh
gravity's
yeah,
fucked,
yeah. It's like
I can't
SWAT with
aim
extra.
that
Yeah.
Just annoying
Like,
me.
I don't mind the
prefer
one-
classic Halo.
I don't
It's like
mind,
shields and everything.
like the one shot. It's just the gravity and the speed. I can't.
Yeah,
aim.
I like,
like, 'cause the-
running up a ramp and jumping, and then you just see everyone on the map. You're like dead, dead, dead.
The one shot thing. That's the SWAT mode, isn't it? Like didn't
No.
you have
So
that?
like with SWAT, it's basically you don't have shields. One
Right.
headshot will take you out, or 2 body shots.
Right.
But with him, like it's literally any bullet from any gun.
Right, 'cause
or
anywhere
you can drop the
will
health
kill you.
down, can't you? Or
Yeah,
you can
it's
even-
basically like you have 0.01% health.
Yeah,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
if you get like a shockwave from a grenade, or like it could be anything.
I
You'll
remember
die.
one time I figured out, like I dual wield the, what were they, the Scorpions? Is that what? No, Scorpion's the tank. What's the? I don't know. It was like submachine guns for the humans.
Oh, yeah.
And it was basically like you just put the reticle over someone in the distance and just hold both triggers, and one bullet will hit them.
At least
No matter
one.
how far away they are, something will hit them.
Shotguns are really dumb in that game mode,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
can.
You're better off with a fucking pistol.
Yeah, you're better off with a pistol. And even if you're in a vehicle, if that vehicle takes 1 damage, it will also blow up.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh,
No, that
except
sounds like the kind of
for-
game mode that we would play like when I was like 6 hours into a Halo night and getting
Yeah.
delirious, and we're like, let's just do this.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was like, but it doesn't count for wraiths or tanks. So as soon as like you're in a heavier vehicle, like it takes a couple more, but they still die.
So Nathaniel just like created a map and like put a secret tank somewhere. And was just like, yes, I'm fucked. I'm gonna go there.
But yeah, we did that for a bit, and then we ended up playing Minecraft and had a barbecue.
Split screen, 4-player multicraft.
Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Well, that TV wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Until I
all
died.
died.
I died, and then I didn't have a bed, so I spawned like way away from where everyone else was, and all my stuff
That's
was.
usually where you end it.
And then
You're
I was like, I'm bored
forget
now. I'm gonna start making mashed potatoes.
it. Yeah.
But then
Classic.
also I've been playing Rhyme.
Yeah.
That's a good game.
Ooh.
One thing I don't like about it though is that I'm sort of onto like the next phase of the game, and you have to run away from like this bird that like comes down at you. Like if you're in this, it's like what a classic old like an older game.
Yeah.
I think Zelda had a similar thing and something else. But basically, if you're out in the sun, the bird can see you, and you have to get undercover before it gets you. You have a certain amount of time. You see, the screen goes really red and starts like pulsing, and then you see like a shadow of the bird go over you first, and then that's like when you got like 3 seconds to get undercover. It's a fun game. I just don't like that sort of gameplay. I hate hiding all the time. It frustrates the hell out of me. That's why I never played Outlast, because the hiding really pissed me off.
Yeah.
Because I've seen people play it, and they're literally on like this one part for hours on end because they can't get past this one dude to flick a switch.
Yep.
I got up to the end of the game with that, and I'm just like, and I get fucking up. I'm like, I quit.
Yeah. So I hate those sorts of games. But other than that, the game so far has been really good. I want to push past that part and keep going because it's a fun game. It looks like...
You don't want to hang out with the bird?
I don't want to hang out with the bird.
Bird seems nice, man.
Yeah.
It's super weird though.
Dude just wants a friend.
Yeah, just don't go in the sun.
It looks like it looks like they're trying to tell a story, but because there's no dialogue or text or anything like that, it's just like, oh, this picture looks nice. Maybe that guy over there that keeps on disappearing every time I get close is that guy. Like, you never actually know. But by the way it looks, it's like maybe there was like a king and a prince, and you're the prince. That's what I think it is. But
What's the king?
The king is like, I assume he's like this dude in a cloak that keeps on disappearing every time you get close to him. He like,
Did he have a crown?
No.
The king
but
went
he's not
out.
the fucking king.
He had a hood on.
Well,
The king went out for cigarettes
later, and then
and never came back.
The king went out for cigarettes.
it's actually a spin-off of Final Fantasy 15. Your dad's abandoned you, and you're just chasing after him.
Papa?
Dad abandoned you. Didn't he die?
Yeah, I'm just saying it's like
He
It's an
he
ultimate
died
story.
before he sent you on a road trip for no goddamn reason.
no, to go marry someone.
Yeah, he had to go get married, and then he was like, oh, never mind, I died. Fuck. Now I gotta go.
Oh, that game. Anyway.
Yeah.
But that was good. Played some Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare today. That was weird and interesting. I played Zombies on COD for the first time in a long time.
Which
and
one?
That was weird. Black Ops 3.
Nah.
I played that for a little bit and I'm just like, man, I've never been good at this game. And I'm like, it's...
either 1 or 2. That's
Yeah.
where you
I
gotta
played
go.
number 3 and it was just like... I just remembered all
just
the
all
times
wall
where I
jumping,
played
isn't
it and then everyone else is just like, dude, you're really shit. I'm like, I know, okay? I don't want to like put any effort into this game because it's so boring.
Yeah.
You run around, buy a gun, and then board up windows, and then like zombies run after you, and it's like, zombies, I'm gonna die.
It's like a whole
Sometimes-
money buying
Yeah.
stuff. I
Sometimes
prefer like
you can get a ray gun.
Bro, please remind
Yeah.
me of ray gun. What have you been up to this week, Shannon?
Oh god, nothing. I work a lot, but we were talking before about the game I was been playing recently, Rogue Galaxy, old PS2 game. It's not crazy interesting for a lot of people, but it's one of those comfort food games that I like to play every now and then. Got re-released on the PS4 like last year. They just ported it over. So
with
it's
trophies.
Yes, with trophies. All them trophies. So I've been finding like extra bits. The good thing about playing a game like that was that it has been so long since my PS2 functioned. So I've been actually getting to points of the story and going like, I totally forgot about that part. Oh, I totally forgot about that part. Oh, and that's been pretty good.
It's kind of a new game again.
Yeah. But prior to that, I actually, in preparation for... what is it going to be, like 6 weeks or 7 weeks from now? I went back and played all of the God of War games.
Oh yeah. How do they hold up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're fun still. I found myself sort of, especially in 1 and 2, actually getting to the point where I was sick of the combat. I got bored of the combat and spent most of my time going, I want to get to the next puzzle, because the puzzles are interesting. They're still actually kind of like, oh, think about the thing, and move the thing here, and do that. And actually test your brain a little bit, but the combat is just square, 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 triangle. And that's it. And they all die.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was fun. It'll be interesting to see how, or what they do with it in God of War 4, and how they move forward, because you get to the end of that trilogy and you're like, man, what a bloodbath.
Yeah.
Like, it
was
is
ridiculous
It
by the end
is
of that.
teen, like adolescent power fantasy to the maximum. It's just blood, guts, sex, gore, like
Killing
all the time.
gods, like it's ridiculous.
It's like
awesome.
10 all the way through God of War 1, then they crank it up to 11 in 2, and they crank it up to 12 in 3.
Yeah.
And, but one thing I did notice was that because I picked up the PS4 version of God of War 3, the remastered, and I thought it was a bit odd, because I always noticed it, that the God of War 3 on PS4 is rated MA15 plus in Australia.
Initially, yeah, on the PS3 version.
No, the original PS3 version is an R18 plus game in Australia, and I couldn't figure out.
3?
Yeah, 3. 3 is.
I
an
thought it
R-
was. I thought it came in before the law.
No, it came out just as. Well, you can get R18 rated versions.
Okay, then, yeah, maybe
But basically,
reference.
whatever version is on the PS3 is different to the PS4, at least in my memory, because I vividly remember the final, like the closing scene. Spoilers for God of War 3, by the way.
A 7-year-old game.
Yeah, on a console that's dead. The end of God of War 3, you have the scene where you go first person, and you beat the crap out of Zeus.
Yeah.
They've edited that out of the PS4 version.
Okay.
So it spins around to a side-on camera instead. And instead of using I think it was the triggers in the PS3 version, or the bumpers, you'd use like right fist, left fist, right fist. Instead of doing that, you just tap the circle button, and it's off to the side, and he's hitting Zeus, and there's blood splattering, and the blood gets on the screen. And the more you tap circle, the more the blood gets on the screen, and then eventually the screen's just red. And you tap that button for a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there staring at a red screen for about a minute and a half, just tapping circle.
That red screen is in the original version. I don't remember the perspective, but I do remember the blood on the screen for about a minute.
Yeah, the blood on the screen I remember, but they did the first person thing, and that's gone.
I don't remember the perspective, but I believe
You said you
Yeah.
can get both, didn't you? Both like MA and.
Yeah, there's a way to get it. I'm
So
pretty
maybe you play
sure.
different versions.
Maybe,
I played
or
the PS3 version that was rated MA 15 plus.
yeah.
Which
I
was
think you're
brought
right.
out-
I think it came before the R18 version.
Because that was a 2010 game.
Yeah.
2013. Yeah, it was at the start of 2013 was the R.
Is it really only that long ago?
Yeah, because
Jesus.
that was the year where Mortal Kombat was finally released here, and then later that year, both Last of Us and GTA 5.
GTA 5,
was
yeah.
rated R.
Yes,
and South
yes,
Park
you're right.
was also rated R, but they still had to censor it because of the weird guidelines that we have for R.
But yeah, I remember
Abortions.
Yeah.
and anal probing.
Yeah.
That was the same for Saints Row 4.
That's right.
Yeah. Which
Like, we got R18, but
Yeah.
we still have censored stuff.
yeah, great. But yeah, that was really weird to
Thanks,
see.
Tony Abbott.
Yeah, God, what an asshole. Yeah, that was really weird to see that they had changed that part, because it was, if that's the case, then it's only the perspective that changed, which I don't get why. Because if they were going to cover it with red anyway, seems a bit odd.
I think it's more like immersive if you're like if it's first person.
Well, that was
and
that was kind of the point. That was what I liked about it, was that like there was this moment in the game where you've been just ripping and shredding through gods this entire time, and it is adolescent power fantasy for the most part. But then there's this weird moment of clarity at the end where you're like, holy crap, like Kratos has been completely consumed and he is compelled to do this and he can't do anything else. There's no other way out other than beating Zeus to death.
Yeah.
And you have to do it. Because if you just stand there, he just
does
stands there
nothing.
over his prone body.
Yeah.
And you are just stuck there forever. The only way to get out of the situation is to kill him. And it's kind of a weird, poignant moment for a game targeted at adolescent teens.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be interesting because I think it's kind of cool. I think it might be one of the very few game franchises that's going to attempt to age with its audience.
Yeah, which is what I'm so interested in.
Yeah.
It's a series as opposed to a development team. Because for me, Naughty Dog is very much aging with its audience.
Yeah.
But they've been doing that with different series. God of War is very much like even like when they started the series, like all the developers were like, yeah, we're just a young 20-year-old. Now they're dads, and now Kratos is a dad.
Exactly. Yeah, that was the thing that really struck me, was that like this game is, when it started out, it was just teen fantasy, all that kind of stuff, and now it's a story about a dad. And when I think about the age demographic of who was targeted with the God of War, those people are now mid-20s, early 30s, thinking of starting families of their own, and suddenly we've got a story about a dad. I think that's a really cool thing to try, and at least give it a shot. Who knows if it'll work, but I prefer a company to take a risk and do something like that than stick with the same old crap. I mean, it worked for Naughty Dog and Last of Us.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
So yeah, God of War. I'm excited.
Yeah, I am excited.
Comes out on 420. Anyway.
Did you play the PSP games on the remake?
Yes.
What do you think of those?
They're fine. The weird thing about the PSP games and the weird thing about God of War in general is that it's hard to tell whether or not they actually planned any of their story stuff.
They didn't.
Because they do drop hints. Because in the very first God of War, there's a mural or something you can go up to that depicts a man standing against Zeus. And that's in the first game. It doesn't really make any sense then.
Yeah.
But when you've played all three, you go back and go, oh, I wonder if that was Kratos.
Yeah.
And then there's also some behind-the-scenes stuff on and this was even in the PS2 versions, in the first two God of Wars, where they did like the voiceover lady, the lady that plays Gaia, did like a short 5-minute thing about like Kratos had a younger brother and all that kind of stuff. And even in God of War,
Ghost of Sparta was the brother one.
Yeah, Ghost of Sparta was the one. Chains of Olympus is the other one. I think it's in 3. Zeus says to Gaia like, you should have maybe chosen the other one.
I do remember that.
And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I was wondering whether they wanted to go further with that, but that PSP game's kind of eh.
I like the stories more in the PSP games
Yeah.
because, like, the Chain of Olympus is about him and his daughter. Like, he goes to hell to find his daughter, but he's just yelling, "Calliope, I love you, Calliope, Ares, Calliope."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's but you know the story's a little bit better, and then the second one's about his brother, which is it his brother?
Yeah, it's his brother, Deimos.
and then
yeah.
they fight Thanatos, the god of
Thanatos.
death.
That was the one thing I did like about the side games was that, and it's one thing I like about a lot of the God of War series is that they also pull from the obscure gods.
Yeah.
Like the ones that you know, it's not just your Zeus, your Ares, your Poseidon. You've got Thanatos and Hermes and all that kind of stuff coming in as well.
Yeah.
And don't you? Isn't it Change of Olympus where you fight Morpheus?
I believe
You kill
so.
the god of dreams, which is pretty cool.
What about Neo?
I was expecting that.
Yeah, pull me out, man, jack me out. But did you ever play Ascension?
I played a little bit of it, but I was so God of War out at the
Yeah.
time that I'm like, I don't want to do, because I just finished at that point. I just finished marathoning all of them on hard,
Yeah.
or maybe like the level above, just so I could get the trophies.
Yeah.
And playing that game on hard is fucking hard. Like,
Yeah,
I was
it's-
at the stage where I would have broken the controllers if I didn't have self control, so I put them down and screamed into pillows because it was so frustrating. But
Yeah.
I did it.
They're difficult games, but yeah, Ascension was
Put it down. Scream into a pillow. I can
Self-control.
I can imagine
Yeah,
teenage
yeah.
Keena being like,
What was that? No fucking reason just to get a fucking platinum trophy. That was the only reason.
yeah.
But I did it.
See, I feel like, yeah.
it's
The
even
only-
worse because I know what your room would have looked like, and I can like picture everything.
See, the only time I ever had something like that was when I was trying to, I was playing Deus Ex Human Revolution.
Yeah.
And I was trying to get the achievement to not kill everybody.
Yeah.
Going back to Dishonored, haha. And yeah, so I had like a lot of tranquilizers and everything. I got to one scene, spoilers, where the chick that flies a helicopter, she takes you to like the final area, but she crashes. And so part of the mission is you have to take down 20 enemies that are all just shooting at a helicopter that's downed, and you have to take them all out before they blow it up and kill her.
We're doing that with trains.
It has an achievement in itself, but the problem was I was really low on ammo on everything, and I had assault weapons just in case.
Of course,
I wanted to.
yeah.
If I ever wanted to let out some rage, I'd just be like, fuck it, I'll save. And then I'll just run through, kill everybody, and then just load back and be like, alright, let's go. Killing people with the assault weapons, that was easy as fuck.
Yeah.
I could get it done. She was like, alright, see ya, I'm out. But I think I tried that level without killing people God, it would have been 30 plus times. It was on the hardest difficulty as well.
Of course it was.
Yeah, so
Of course it was.
I was just I remember just sitting in the room just and I think at one point I got really close, but something happened to one of the guys. I think he got caught in an explosion from another enemy. I knocked him out, and then someone threw a grenade at me, it went past, and then just kind of killed
That's
him.
the problem with a lot of those games. Is
Yeah.
they do the achievement of don't kill anyone, but then they've got all these systems of he died of thirst while you were waiting. God damn it!
But that's the thing, I was just like, does that count? Because technically
Yeah,
I didn't
exactly.
kill him.
And
but,
it sucks
also,
because some
get
games
to
don't have
the
the amount of people you've killed, because some other games do and you can just check it. But
Oh,
then
yeah,
other games
that's
are just
fair.
I don't. Does that count? And you have to wait till the end of the game to find out. You're like,
Yeah,
That's
some
the thing, I
NPC died 20 minutes ago and you had no idea. Yeah.
So eventually I didn't want to do it. I was just like, fuck it, I'll just reload and do it again. Eventually I got it,
Well
and
done.
I just I think I just put the controller down, paused the game, saved it, and I just left the room for a good 20 minutes. I was just like, I need.
Was it worth it? Was it worth it?
I think I got at the end of the game, I think I got 100 gamer score for completing it without killing anybody, and then an extra 50 for the hardest difficulty.
Was it
and then
worth
I got
it?
50 for that. It's
did you
that's
get
a
all
story. So
That few years where everyone got hot and heavy with achievements is some of the funniest stuff that ever happened.
Yeah,
People just
some
being
of the
gotta
shit
get
you
that gamer score. Why? Cause
I remember I played Black Ops campaign just to try and perfect it. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I want to perfect all my games. I was like, well, Black Ops, like, it's the first game alphabetically. And I tried it, and I was just like, fuck this game. I was done with it straight away. It was like,
Yeah.
one of the achievements was Slingshot Kid, and it was like, take out 3 towers with 3 shots of a slingshot with grenades. And I missed, like, every second shot. And I was just like, dang it, fuck it.
Was Black Ops or Black Ops 2 that had the gun game? Was that one where every time you died, you got a different gun?
I know 2 did.
I enjoyed
One,
that.
Every
I know.
time you made a kill, you got a different gun. Every time you died, you went back again.
No.
No, this is
Every
different.
time you got knifed, you would go back and go.
Oh,
You
yes.
got
Yeah,
shot.
yeah. So yeah, it was.
I remember that. That was Black Ops 2. That was really fun.
I liked that mode.
I remember playing against you and Kyron one time, and I got up to the ballistic knives, and you guys were up to, I think you were like 2 or 3 guns behind me, and I just kept going around knifing you guys. And you were just like, fucking stop!
I enjoyed that game mode, and is it Sticks and Stones, the one where you just got knives and
Knives, tomahawk, and
crossbows? Yeah, that's fun. That was fun. Like putting on those restrictions was really good.
Yeah.
I think putting the ballistic knives as the last one was such a fuck you because you kept on getting all
Yes.
these really good guns that
Yeah.
made it easier for you, and then right there it's like ballistic.
Sticks knife. Yeah, great. Thanks.
Yeah.
It's a one-shot
Yeah.
kills. Nah, I liked ballistic knives. They were quick at knifing.
They were. Like if you got good at the ballistics knife by the end of the if you were playing gun game and you got to the end of it, you were happy. You were like, okay, awesome, I've got this thing that I'm really good at.
The moment someone else gets ballistic knives, though, that's when you start panicking.
Yeah,
It's like, fuck, someone's got to shoot, but
Yeah.
also, like, everyone's really close.
Yeah.
It's like, either I knife you or I risk it. I take the shot.
Anything else you've been up to?
No, not really. That's about it for me. I'm just
Okay.
waiting for games to come out.
By the way, this is the longest part of
This is
the...
the this is like the
Yeah.
podcast.
This
Like,
is always the longest.
Oh yeah.
we have like, the
You-
podcast
every-
goes forever,
It's like-
and then we've got the
This
topic.
is what I
at the
mean.
end
3
of it.
hours.
Yeah.
We could do it, but
That's alright. I got nothing to do. I got a day off tomorrow. I got a staff meeting at like 5 in the afternoon, which I have to drive to, which I really don't want to go to. But hey,
Why is everyone having the staff meetings tomorrow? It's bullshit.
tell me about it. It was supposed to be last week, but then it didn't. It was like halfway
were
through
just
the
like, no.
yeah halfway through the day. They're just like, do you want to go home? And I was like, but the staff meeting. Like, what staff meeting? Just go. And I was like, okay, all right, and just wandered out.
Jesus Christ.
Have I missed?
What have you
At least I
been
get
up
paid
to
for it.
this week?
I've been playing. I bought Nier Automata.
Ooh,
That's a fun game.
yeah,
I like it.
it's awesome.
It's a game.
I wouldn't. I still don't know if I can call it fun.
I'm having fun with it.
Yeah,
So-
like absolutely. Like I enjoyed that
What type
game.
of game is it?
It's a.
It's got it on Steam. Is it on Steam? I've got something
I think
like
it's
that.
on Steam.
It's an action RPG, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah, it's like. It's a platinum game.
Yeah.
So
But
it's like,
not a platinum game. Like, it's a platinum game, but it's not. It doesn't have that same actiony, like smooth action feel that
It's a
platinum
little
games
bit.
have.
Yeah,
It's a
less
little bit
smooth.
more clunky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did games like Bayonetta, Vanquish, Metal Gear Revengeance. So it's that style of game. But they Nier is
Transformers Devastation.
the Legend of Korra game, which was bad. A bad Ninja Turtles game. Like there was like a C team.
Yeah.
that started doing stuff and
Z team.
bombed everything. But
That's team.
Yeah, poor bastards.
yeah, no.
They just get stuck with the license stuff. They're like, hey, we got this license. You just make a, I don't know, DS game out of it. Just go.
Yeah, but what it is, it's post-apocalypse. Like it's set in year 5000. Aliens have taken over the Earth with machines. Humans have gone to the moon and said, "Hey, androids, can you save the Earth for us?"
Game is so dumb.
I love that premise.
It's
And
so
then, so you're like, okay, so basically machines versus androids, and then you find out machines aren't meant to have any like self, like sense of self. But then you find out like they've sort of adapted like AI to like, oh, we're just like having parties and we're having sex. And
Yeah,
we're-
it's this really weird thing where you see robots trying to emulate human behavior, but they're like gear clockwork robots.
Yeah.
And they're just like, they look like little tubes.
like
and
trash can sort of
yeah,
things.
and they're just like, oh, this is what humans do. They have sex, and so you just see two like trash cans just banging into each other,
Literally.
like literally just going into each other, and they're just like, yes, yeah, and they just making these noises, and you're like, what the? And then you start to like, that game is really cool. Like you start to look at human society through a different pair of eyes, and you're like, yeah, like there's this one side quest where it's all about revenge.
like this one android, this group of androids gets killed by a machine, and then so you have to go and kill it just because you're like, where the fuck are these androids? And then it's like, I want revenge, and it's covered in blood, which is weird because they're androids that don't really have blood, I think. At least not in my
Maybe their coolant is just red.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah.
And then you kill it, and then you have to go back and tell the people, just like, oh, what happened to it? And I told them the truth, and she's like, I'm going to get my revenge. But she had nothing to get revenge on, so she just left all of her stuff there and just went. So it's all like, yeah, it's weird. It's great. It's like, the other part of the game, it is kind of open world in terms of like, you run from area to area.
But the textures of the world look like they fell out of a PS2.
Oh.
Like
I
they're
don't
not
think they're PS2 bad.
well, yeah, but they're not the visual style that you've come to like, because it's really
Early Xbox 360.
No, it's like mid to late 360 PS3, I think.
I would say mid 360. I wouldn't put it at a late, because when you're looking at late 360 PS3, you're looking at stuff like Final Fantasy 13, and like that's it does not look like Final Fantasy 13. No. Like it's definitely a step down from there.
Yeah.
But it's got this weird sort of dichotomy between these really well-designed character models and this world that's kind of just, and I think it's intentional, the world's kind of like subpar and bombed out and shelled out, and it's all just kind of a little bit squarey and blocky. You know, like the textures aren't quite there. But
have you guys just been playing Minecraft? Is that
Minecraft with
this story?
And then there was a robot. Yeah, was having sex.
I joined Moose Valley.
Yeah, then there was a dragon. Man, there was a dragon. But no, that game is really, really fun. More people should play it.
Yeah. I'm really enjoying it. I think I just got a new weapon. It's a lance. Sorry?
It's a robot.
Oh, God.
Trove.
I came to a new plot story point. Do you care if I spoil it? You ever going to play this?
Yes? No, I don't think
I got to the point where you're like, basically everyone's asking, what the fuck happened to the aliens? I just found out what happened. The machines created androids or something, and then they killed... And then those new androids, Adam and Eve, which are both dudes with long hair, they're basically Sephiroth, they kill the aliens. So there's been like no aliens for like 2,000 years or something. But like everyone's freaking out, like where are
But the humans are all like, aliens!
Yeah.
Okay.
That game goes some places.
Like, and I haven't like, you're meant to finish it 3 times or so.
5.
You get like 5 times.
5. So there's your standard playthrough, first,
which is what I'm on still.
which is about 30-ish hours.
Yeah.
And then there's a B playthrough. And there are... Okay, so this game is weird. There are 26 different endings.
I've got ending W, which is where I died in the first mission.
Yeah, so and it's really crazy stuff. It's like if you die in the first mission, credits roll.
Yeah, like straight up like credits roll.
It's like, you finished the game.
Yeah, like the androids have lost, the machines have taken over the Earth. Boom, credits roll like at super fast speed, and then you start like I got up to the first proper boss, which was like half an hour in, so I had to do a whole half hour again.
Yeah,
like, fuck.
That saving system is bad. But yeah, so there are 26 different endings. The ones that you want to hit are what I guess the fans call. I don't know if the developers have actually said it, but endings A, B, C, D, and E. Yeah, that's the full story. The rest of the endings are like jokes and gags and funny little things.
It's like the dog at the end of the final Silent Hill 2.
Yeah. Like if you find certain side quests and do a certain thing, then it's like, hey, credits, and you're like, what? And then you start
just
again.
like how in Saints Row 4.
Yeah.
How you like walk through the door. It's like you sacrifice yourself and then everyone else will live. And then they reveal that everyone died anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, the first 2 playthroughs are sort of like of a substantial length, and then the next 3 are very much shorter.
Okay.
So yeah, be prepared for like a decent haul with that game.
I am, yeah.
But it is absolutely 100% worth it. Like the reason I said like, oh, would you call it fun, is because I do find the combat a little bit clunky.
Yeah.
And I don't particularly like it. But the story of that game was good enough to get me right through to the end. So when you finish it, come back and chat about it.
I will.
It's crazy.
I first played the demo ages ago. I played the demo like 5 times, but when I first got it, I was expecting the smoothness of Revengeance, which is like one of my favorite games.
Yeah. It does have this interesting thing that like I really enjoyed the first time I picked it up, and it's like doing this like Jade Empire, your like top-down view.
It becomes like a shoot 'em up. It becomes like a side scroller like shooting game,
like a Space Invaders Galaga style. Like you're in a mech ship and you're like just going side to side and shooting things. sequence, and then you jump out of the mech, and then you're running around in a 3D world and slicing, and then like the camera will shift perspective, and suddenly it's a 2D platformer, and you're like, what is going on?
This game is
It's bonkers.
It's Platinum Games.
so
when Platinum
nuts.
Games teamed up with Kojima, that's when I loved it the most.
Well, it's Yoko Taro who did this game, right?
I am not sure who the director was.
Yeah, it's Yoko Taro. So if you've ever watched an E3 press conference from Square Enix, it's the dude that wears the moon mask.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, that's him. He's nuts. He's insane. They want him to direct the next Final Fantasy.
As in 16.
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's just going to be ridiculous then.
Yeah. They're
Final Fantasy.
There was a
and
rumor.
him?
Yeah, there was a rumor where they were like, we're considering letting him do that after Nier Automata was so good. They were like, maybe that would be a good fit.
Did he do the first Nier game?
No, I don't
Okay.
think so.
Because I know a lot of people love Nier, but that's way more janky than this game. But it's like people love the music and like the story that you get to.
And apparently, if you did play the original Nier, there is a lot in this game that links up. And
Yeah, I assume so because like I
lot of fan
wanted to
service.
watch a playthrough. I'm like, nah, it can't be bugged. But they're like, it's sort of open worldy, so I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised that this is the same world, but 2,000 years later or whatever.
Yeah, there's some sort of like time I can't remember.
Okay.
I had read a Wikipedia article and got real deep into it and then stopped. Because there was a point where I was like 1 a.m. and I was reading this article and I was like, what am I doing with my life? I should stop. But yeah, really good game. Everyone should try.
It's fun and weird.
Anything else?
Not really, no.
Yeah, no,
On to
Nier
the topic
is
of
your
the show,
life.
then.
I guess so.
Yeah. On to the topic of the show.
Oh, sorry, how long
Pokemon.
we got? Like 2 seconds?
Yeah,
Pokemon, it's good. Bye. See you guys.
Where are we at? We're at 44 minutes. We took a half hour. We're good. So, what do y'all think of Pokemon?
Yeah, it's pretty
Oh, is
good.
that how we're starting it? Okay.
Got some Pokemon here.
I love the Pokemans.
Jesus.
Pokemon's great.
It's great.
It's-
I told this story on the show before, but I got way too addicted to it that after Heart Gold and Soul Silver came out, I had to stop. So
Wow.
I have banned myself from playing Pokemon games because I got way too obsessed. I think when I finished the Diamond Dex, actually, the Diamond
Was that
Pokedex, I
Silver?
gave
Yeah.
up. I'm like,
This
I
one?
can't
Yeah.
do this anymore.
This is a silver version that I found at the bottom of my dam when it dried out.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does it work?
No, it does not work. Much to everyone's surprise. Doesn't work. This red version also does not work. I don't know, it rattles. Oh, that also rattles.
They all rattle.
But the blue version works.
Whoops. That's gonna sound real
Nice
great
save.
for you guys.
Oh yeah, they all save.
Really?
This was the special edition Pikachu
All
yellow
yellow
version.
was special edition.
Special edition? You mean
Yeah.
like Pokemon Yellow?
Yeah.
Yes, they're all special editions.
Yeah. And then we've got
The trading card.
the
game.
trading card game.
Oh yeah.
When I was a kid, I saw this in, I think it was Target, or something. I was
Yeah.
in some sort of shopping center. We walked in. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Mom, I don't
It's
want the
Pokemon!
I don't want the trading cards. I want the digital version of the
Right.
trading
I
cards.
literally saw, like, I was that young that I was like, Pokemon, and then
Oh,
my
no.
brothers were like, "It's not normal Pokemon. It's different." I'm like, "It's Pokemon. We don't have this one." And then. They were like, "It's not normal Pokemon. You won't like it." And then I was like, "Pokemon." And then
Let me counter you with this. Pokemon.
and then Mum got it for me, and I put it in the Game Boy, and I was like, "Oh lordy, this is gonna be so much fun." And I was like, "Wow, this is hot trash." Still has. I'm in charge just in like a year. Still has. charge.
Dude, can we just stop for a moment and say how awesome the Game Boy SP
SP
is?
brilliant.
It is the most amazing system. Like the thing charges.
I don't know what's
the
going
thi-
on. It stops.
Jesus.
Frozen.
The thing holds charge for
What?
decades. The thing plays games from the Game Boy, the Game Boy Color, the
Yeah.
Game Boy Advance. Like that thing is a goddamn masterpiece.
It was my first console.
Really?
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
that's
the
cool.
first gaming
Jesus.
technology
God, that
I
sound.
ever got. My brother had a computer, but that was it.
Up to the mic.
I feel like this is going to get copyrighted.
Probably.
Oh, I feel it's out of date. It's a trading card game. They've never made one of those again.
Copyright 1998. That was the year I was born.
No, Jesus Christ.
So this is the Game Boy SP came with this feature where if you click this button,
You made it big or small.
Big or small. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
that.
That was only for Game Boy games,
Forgot
not
about that.
so die.
What was that?
Oh yeah, because the color didn't have triggers. Was that it?
No, it's because like it's formatted like the size of it. Because this is the Game Boy game, not a
Yeah, I know.
Advance. Like that's just what it's formatted as. But if you want to make it bigger and like stretch out the image, you could.
Yeah.
You're like, I want this.
It's basically they had 2 extra buttons that were superfluous because they wouldn't do anything on a Game Boy game, so you could use them to change the screen size. But man, that little thing was so cool.
And it's like it still works. I've never had any problems with it.
The first one
Ever.
was red, but I don't know where it's gone. Not the Pokemon game. Like my Game Boy was red.
So the first Pokemon game I played was Pokemon Gold because although Pokemon came out and I was born, that was I wasn't old enough to have like my own Game Boy or
Yeah.
anything like that, but I still liked watching the television show and
Yeah,
things
I
like
was
that.
super into the anime.
Like
as a child.
super into the anime. So I ended up having a God. You guys are gonna get copyrighted. So
We can show stuff. We just can't sell it.
yeah. So I played through Pokemon Gold first, and then
But that was starter.
my starter type. Cyndaquil. Cyndaquil's my starter.
Typhlosion was my starter. I was that good.
What was your first game and starter?
Oh fuck.
I just want to quickly go around the room.
I believe my first game was Ruby, and my starter was Trico. Purely because he had a stick.
My first
In
game
the anime, yeah.
was this boy.
Blue. Wow.
That was the first one I started on because my brothers were like, no.
They're good brothers.
Like,
Yeah.
these are mine,
Yeah.
and you can play this one because I transferred all my Pokemon to, I think it was this one.
Crystal. Right.
Well
Good.
done.
Yeah. That's smart brothers.
And then they're like, you can play on this one, and I was like, okay. And then I'm like, I want all the starters, because we had multiple consoles. I think we did System Link so we could
Yeah.
transfer, and I got all the starters, and then I somehow corrupted the game. But I didn't play it for very long. I was that young that I was still like, what does game do? And I like walk around, I'm like, this is Rattata.
Just stuck in the first town.
I played through a lot of it, and I think they wanted to get me into it because it wasn't long after that where Ruby and Sapphire came out. And then I played Ruby and Sapphire.
Ruby and Sapphire was 01.
Yes.
02.
So they would have been about the same time-ish.
It was 01 in
Yeah,
Japan.
I would have been in
02
preschool,
in the
so,
US,
yeah.
I think. We'll check
Yeah.
that.
Would have been in preschool.
Yeah,
I think I was
2002.
wrong.
Yeah.
I think the first game I played was Fire Red. The first game I owned was Ruby, but I remember one of my friends when I was growing up had Fire Red, and I think... Fuck, I might have played that first.
No, you wouldn't have had Fire Red because Fire Red was the.
Well, I didn't
remake.
get Ruby when it came out.
Oh, okay.
So-
So it might have been a little bit after. Yeah, okay.
But I played Blue first, and then I moved on to...
What was
I
the
think
starter
it
you
was-
picked though? Like you got all 3, but what was the one you picked?
Charmander.
Probably
I would
Charmander.
say
I
Charmander.
think it was Bulbasaur.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Wow,
it's
you're a
probably
horrible
Bulbasaur.
person.
No, he's not.
No, I think it was Bulbasaur because Anthony.
You had no
Charmander.
friends, did you?
I didn't have
Yeah.
any friends. I had Thomas
There it is.
Maloney. He was my friend.
Oh, God.
He's not that bad.
I think
Yeah, Bulbasaur.
I don't like his brother, so by default.
When you choose Bulbasaur, yeah, terrible.
I liked it. But then I think they only wanted me to play that so that I could be ready for Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire when they came out, and we got them instantly on like the Game Boys, and then like a couple of years later they got them on the emulators.
Yeah.
And I played them all the fucking time. I think
I'm just gonna go home and get an emulator now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just talking about it, I'm just
so
gonna be like, there goes my night.
You can get it on your phone now as well.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
on your phone. So good.
My
Maybe
first game was Ruby,
Yeah.
and my starter was Torchic, because I watched the anime and I'm like, oh
You
yeah,
like Blaziken?
yeah,
Fair.
and he could do Sky Uppercut. Was basically
Yeah.
it.
I think
Yeah.
I
When
know
I
that.
when I found out, yeah, that's right. When I found out that Blaziken beat Charizard in the anime, I was like, oh man, Torchic is so much better.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that I was the same. Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, hold on, Charizard's flying type.
I didn't think I realized that Blaziken evolved from Torchic, so I picked Trico first up because I was like, that's a cool lizard, bro. I'll take that. And Sceptile was awesome.
Cool he looked. And then
Yeah.
Grobar was awesome, and then Sceptile looked like he was on drugs. It was great.
I was happy with all
I
of
think
it.
with them I chose Mudkip. is my starter.
Because you're a bad human being.
I think Swampert ended up being one of my strongest.
Yes, Swampert.
It's one of the with the type combination it has. It's one of the legit best Pokemon.
Yeah.
I just never liked the look of it.
I think it got to the point where I could just like solo the Elite Four in. Like I transferred him from my Ruby game to Diamond, and I could just solo the Elite
I did the
Four,
exact
just him.
I did the exact same thing. Like
Yeah.
level 100,
had-
just fucking surf.
He had Surf, Ice Beam,
Oh wow.
Earthquake, and
Yeah, Earthquakes.
Yep.
some other
Yep.
bullshit.
Yep.
Dig.
I think Dive or something.
What is everyone's favorite Pokemon?
Pokemon.
If you have to choose one.
Okay, so
Evolution like set or just like
no, one single Pokemon.
Yeah, I guess like you could be
Right.
like, I like it because of this set of evolution, but like,
So, I was actually thinking about this the other night.
Pikachu.
I like Maractus. No, yeah, exactly. No, my favorite used to be. I actually, was thinking about it because I think my favorite has changed. My favorite used to be Typhlosion. That
Right.
was my favorite because it was the first starter and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I like the way it looks in the show when it's animated correctly and it's got the fire coming out of its neck and it's like screaming. I'm like, yeah, that's fucking cool Pokemon. And I like Charizard, but I didn't want to pick that one. I was like, Charizard's okay, I guess. One of those kids.
Yeah.
But when they moved to 3D, Typhlosion kind of lost a thing.
because he stopped having the fire.
He doesn't have the fire permanently, and he just kind of looks derpy.
Oh yeah.
And
he
he doesn't.
already looks like a weird.
Fucking rat.
Yeah, well, that's what he is. I mean, he's
He looks like a lizard rat.
But yeah, he's like big, and he's kind of like too thick, and he kind of just looks like a cylinder that's kind of got some feet, and it just doesn't quite work.
See, Cyndaquil, I was kind of okay with not having the flames because he still had like
Yeah,
Yeah, he was
bolts
little
on his
and-
back, and he was like still cute.
yeah, but
But then-
Typhlosion needs to have those flames
Yeah.
constantly. So, but what ended up happening was the Pokemon Company decided to make a Pokemon for me, like for me as a person in my soul.
Feel like I might know which one you're talking about purely because of how this is going.
I fucking love Incineroar.
Okay, no.
So the new fire starter from Pokemon Sun and Moon, Incineroar,
Okay.
is my favorite Pokemon.
Really?
Yeah. Because they made a wrestling tiger cat.
Yeah, I
Come on. It's a wrestling fire cat.
Like they made,
They literally, and honestly, when I played through that game,
Fire.
they made Tony the Tiger a Pokemon. I get
exactly,
that.
hell's yeah. And they gave him a wrestling flame belt,
Yeah,
and he got like. So the thing was, when I was going into that game, I was pretty like on the starters, and then we got a cat, and the cat's kind of cute.
So you were just like lit.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'll pick Litten, and then as it evolved, I was like, this thing is a beast. And then I
How do you
realized
feel about what was it, Holucha?
Holucha. I like Holucha too. The first time I saw Holucha, I thought it was dumb, and then I watched it in the anime,
Yeah,
and Holucha
yeah,
is fucking
yeah.
When I
badass.
fucking fought that in that fucking fight in that gym battle, I fucking
Holucha is and its
Also-
type combo
he's
fighting
also-
flying is just a
He's also
bitch.
the one of the champions. I think her leading Pokemon in X and Y.
yeah.
Yeah.
Every
And so-
time a trainer had that
yeah, no, I
Pokemon
was
X
the
and
same.
Y, it was overpowered as shit.
I saw Holucha in the game. I was like, that Pokemon is stupid.
Yeah.
I straight up just did not like it.
Yeah.
I was like, no.
But
And
the-
then I watched the anime. I was like, Holucha's
Holucha's alright, man. He's
Yeah.
alright. And so yeah, Incineroar just has my heart right now. I love that friggin' Pokemon, and it's actually a really good typing for that game. Because
I wasn't expecting you to choose something so new.
yeah, that was the
What
thing
were
that
you
surprised me.
expecting?
The poison fire lizard. Not gonna lie. I can't remember its name though.
What, the new one, Salazzle?
That's the one.
Yeah.
That evolution.
No, it was weird that the newer games are odd. I like them, but boy oh boy are they handholdy. Sun and Moon especially are really handholdy. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are kind of fun. If you guys played them
Is
yet?
there much of a difference?
There is. For one, the story doesn't take that much of a divergence, but so it's all pretty much the same until right at the end of the game.
Like
and
all
things,
third
yeah,
games.
super change.
Right.
But the thing that is actually, and I'll say this as a 25-year-old man playing Pokemon games,
You're not the only one.
that those games are actually difficult. Like Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are actually quite difficult. There were several different trials in that game where I just lost. Just straight up was like, I don't have the Pokemon or the know-how or the levels or anything to beat this thing in front of me. It just creamed me. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I have to now do what a Pokemon game is supposed to make me do, which is go out and
level
train.
grind. Yeah.
Like either level grind or look around the area and start using it, because Pokemon's always done the same thing where when you're coming up to a gym and they've decided it's going to be a roadblock, they'll always find somewhere around the area to give you a Pokemon that will give you an advantage.
Yeah, I've
either
never
in the
noticed that.
Yeah,
I must have been too young, but then I just always like kept like a core group of Pokemon, trained every 5 levels for each gym, and that's how I win.
Yeah, like you can. That's the strategy I used when I was younger. I was just like over level my team, and then I can just go through and cream everyone.
Yeah,
but yeah, they're actually really well designed in that. Like a lot of the times. So you go up to one of the mountains and you're fighting the electric trial, and if you just go straight ahead and just like charge forward and don't look around at all, you'll end up in there and you'll probably get creamed. But if you turn back around, go back down the mountain a little bit, look into some grass, you'll find some like ground types that you can use or some steel types that might help you out. And you're like, oh, okay, like. They do give you the tools to beat everything, but you do have to take the time to look for it and then take the time to grind it out. So you've actually got to train. And I was like, this is actually really cool. And there's a boss battle towards the end of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon that pretty much everyone I've seen online as well is like, that thing is ridiculous. Like
part of the story in the game?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a legendary Pokemon battle, and it is insane.
Can you catch it?
No, not in that battle.
Okay.
Yeah, in that battle you have to beat it, then it flies off and you can catch it later on.
Right.
But it is really difficult because its typing is Dragon Psychic.
Ah, fuck that.
So yeah, and that's why I like Incineroar as well, because the fire doesn't do anything, but he's part Dark type, so he's immune to all the psychic attacks for that thing. So he really helped me out in that battle. And there's a lot of different type combinations throughout.
No, because I use Rowlet in Sun, so if I was to do that in Ultra Sun,
You get your shit pushed in.
oh yeah, it's my ghost.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a really fun game because Pokemon Sun and Moon were like fine and like graphically they're really impressive on the 3DS, but they still have the same problems as X and Y and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, where the frame rate takes a hit when there's more than one Pokemon on the field, and it's kind of a little bit clunky in certain places, but
it's improving.
the Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon specifically gave me hope, because it was like, oh, you guys really amped up the difficulty, which is what a lot of people wanted. It's still doable for children, and yeah, they made a story that was like kind of fun, and they did there's a prologue sort of mission in the game that's really, really cool. If you're a fan of Pokemon, there's a whole thing that's just like a nostalgia roller coaster. It's like, oh
wow.
shit, yeah, hell yeah! I was playing.
Is it Looker?
No Looker.
Oh, really?
No, it's
He was in I think someone figured out that he was in like one of the early games. I think it was speculation though. I don't think it was actually confirmed. That it was
there's an NPC in one of the first games
I think it was Gold and Silver.
I think it's actually Red and Blue on the SSN.
Oh, really?
Like on the boat that you take.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just
What
he's
are we
an,
talking
He
about?
says he's.
so there's have you ever done a Looker episode in Pokemon? There's a character
He's
called
also
Looker.
in Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah, he's in Diamond and Pearl. He's in Black and White
And X and Y.
and X and Y.
Is he the detective guy?
Yeah, detective, the
Yeah,
international
Really,
police
really
detective.
shit.
So usually post game, Looker will pop up, and he's like a dude in a brown coat, and he's always like, "I'm investigating a thing with the evil team," and that usually is where like some of the higher level
Yeah.
post game battles are.
And this guy is in Diamond? Because
Yeah.
I think that's my only reference point.
I mean, he was definitely in Diamond. I think
Yeah, Diamond's where he
it was the
first
main
appears.
story in Diamond.
I have no memory
Or might have
of
been
this
it
guy.
might have been Platinum actually.
That would make more sense, but
Yeah.
I know it was Sinnoh.
Yeah. He appears in Sinnoh first, and yeah, basically he's an international police agent, and some people went through some of the old games and found an NPC.
That claims to be an
The
international.
claim it says like, I'm an international police person, but you don't get
Names,
names for
yeah.
those NPCs.
cool. I
And
like
so
that.
then,
They must
yeah.
have just dug through and just like, what's a random NPC? You're like, oh, bring back this
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, bring back this guy and do the thing. They've been doing a lot of that. Like,
That's
there's a lot
cool.
of references, especially if you get into the post game of.
Yeah, post game's always like the best part of
Yeah.
Pokemon games.
There's a red Gyarados.
Yeah. I'ma cash that red Gyarados. You guys excited for the Switch version?
Yeah.
I want it.
We don't have
so
Switches,
bad.
but like we
I'm
want.
gonna get one.
I'm gonna
Get a
get as
Switch.
soon as
Get a
Pokemon
Switch.
game or Super Smash Brothers hits the Switch. I
Get a
a
Switch. Get a Switch. Get a
See, that's the
Switch.
thing. That's what I'm gonna get to. Like, what would your ideal Switch version be? Like, would it still be like?
Oh, I didn't talk about ours.
Oh, your favorite Pokemon? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a favorite Pokemon.
I do.
Oh, why not?
I don't know because there's one, there's so many, and two.
Yeah, there are.
I like
800.
I
them
have
all.
one that's always on my team, so
Yeah.
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 And
Well,
I've got a favorite. You know what it is.
I feel
Pikachu,
like when you say it, I'm gonna. Oh, I know it.
Red Gyarados.
Nah, it's Sylveon.
Yeah.
Sylveon.
There it is. Sylveon is my fucking
Sylveon's a
favorite
good choice.
Pokemon.
Why
I
Sylveon?
always hated Eeveelutions because they were so overrated. Like not like just genuinely. Like I love Eevee as a
Eevee's
a
cute
character,
as fuck,
and
yeah.
he's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
cute, and the evolutions look really cool. But in the game, everyone's like, "Oh, I've got Flareon, and it'll beat your ass."
Yeah.
And I was just like, "Dude."
Yeah, okay. Cool.
Teach
But-
Espeon Bite, that guy will ream the Elite Four.
Yeah. But I was looking to get like I had no idea anything about the new games. I think I was with Shannon when I decided to get a 3DS. And
Yes,
when
yeah,
I decided
yeah.
to get why?
Why? Yeah.
Why?
Because I got it.
And I was like, all right, I'm gonna get this. I had no fucking clue about the new Pokemon. I was just like, I've missed playing Pokemon, and Damien's friend is gonna sell me one for $50. So, sell me a 3DS. I mean,
Fairy type had just come out. And
yeah,
everyone's like,
Yeah.
"What?"
Yeah.
I think I fought the fairy type gym leader, and she had a Sylveon,
Yeah, she
and
does.
I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
SY.
Yeah, I got that, and well, it took me forever to actually figure out how to do
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
I
a good looking
up,
Pokemon.
I ended up getting a shiny Sylveon.
Yeah.
Oh.
What the fuck?
So
Yeah.
basically, where it's pink is blue, and where it's blue it's pink.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of my shiny Ponyta.
Yeah.
Where instead of
Oh, nice.
it was
Yeah. Yeah, blue flames.
Blue Flames.
The only bad thing about my shiny Sylveon is it's not as strong as my other Pokemon,
Yeah.
my other Sylveon. But I've got two Sylveons,
Eevees
and
these would be out.
yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't as great, but
That's
I didn't
not with getting
EV.
shinies.
Yeah.
Like you know, it's hard enough to get one, but to find one with good IVs
Do you
as
know
well,
how I
you're
did
just
it?
like, fuck.
You know how I did it? I was on Wonder Trade with some. Well, not Wonder Trade, but like a trading thing with someone, and they brought up like a shiny Eevee, and I was like, and then I like put on like my best Pokemon. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's mine.
Gimme.
And then I'm like, I'm gonna make this a Sylveon, and everyone's like, you probably could have made a better evolution and like had a really cool looking Pokemon. I'm like, no.
Sylveon's really good.
A lot
Like,
of people hate
Yeah.
when people make Eevee an evolution when it's a shiny because they're like, you've decided it's fate. Like
Yeah.
it's got so many potential, like so much potential, and you're like, I want you to be this, and people are like, how could you? But yeah, I did that, and oh man, so good. I love that. I love that
Oh,
Pokemon.
fuck, now I can't decide.
Yeah,
The
favorite Pokemon.
one thing I
Come on.
loved though is that he never had a steel type in his party until I got Sylveon.
It's because Sylveon was fucking
I was just like
bullshit.
dazzling gleam.
Don't bother with steel types. Go with a poison type.
He
Way more
did.
fun.
He went.
I did.
He got
I
a
got-
schism.
No,
Didn't you?
No, I got.
That was German.
I got a Gengar and
Yep.
a Metagross.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Metagross was what fucked me up.
Yeah.
Metagross is
So I
awesome.
was like,
Yeah,
yo,
Metagross will do it.
Pseudos, let's go.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Fuck, now I can't decide. Because originally I was just going to say Jolteon. But then you made me realise that I think I got a shiny Metagross.
You did.
Well,
I
they
think-
gave one away at
I
the start
either-
of.
No, yeah, you did.
I either
You got
tried to or I did.
one. You got shiny
I
Beldum.
didn't get Omega or
No,
Alpha.
but didn't I trade it to you?
Okay. Okay.
I'm pretty
No,
sure.
'cause I never got Omega or Alpha ever. I haven't got it. I haven't played it. Fake nerd, I know.
You should. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. I was like, played the originals. And
Yeah, that's the
like,
thing. I almost got back into Pokemon because of the Ruby remake.
Omega
Yeah.
Because
Alpha.
Ruby was my
They
first. I'm
are
like,
good.
They are really
Yeah.
good.
They are really good.
I like
but-
how they brought in. I can't remember what they call it. The Latios.
Oh.
Yeah, the soaring mechanic.
Soaring.
Actually, I was just thinking about that. Yes, you should play Mega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Those games are really good. The soaring mechanic is super fun.
Oh, yeah, that's right. There's like the different islands. And
If you
shit
want to
too.
play it,
Yeah, like you can basically you blow a flute, call a legendary, and then fly around the
Depending
whole
on
region.
what game
like,
you
over
Isn't
the
that
top
just
of
using
it.
fly?
No,
Oh no,
no,
you're actually
you actually
flying.
control it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I think with Laddie, which one's
Oh, they
blue,
look the
it's
fucking
opposite.
same,
So, like, if you get the blue one, you get the red one. You get the red one, you get the blue one.
Welcome to Pokemon.
Yeah, well, I was gonna get Omega Ruby if anything, because my first game was Ruby.
Yeah, definitely. It's really, really good, and the Delta episode's fun. The post game again. The post game is
that
fun.
was really good, and you got Johto starters.
Oh.
That was
You
awesome.
could get all the starters.
Yeah, you did, didn't you?
Well, not all. You
No, but you
got
could-
basically you got the starters that you didn't get from X and Y.
Yeah.
So you got the Kalos and the
What they made with these ones is that the fact that you could get like, you could complete the Pokédex with the latest 2 games at the time.
Yeah.
Was what they were doing with
Yeah.
that.
So yeah, between Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, X and Y, you could get every single Pokemon that was currently out in the Pokédex. No exceptions.
Was there ever a third game for X and Y?
No. There was a rumor it was
Everyone was
supposed to
like,
be.
Z, yeah. I remember even like Black and White when that was the thing. Like, oh yeah,
So-
grey. Rainbow.
So I don't know how well this is going to go over, but
Oh.
I'm gonna say something. I have a friend of mine who.
Is this like a cover story? You're like, oh,
I know a guy.
Yeah, I
who
know a
knows
guy. I know a guy who knows a guy. And I have a
His
friend
favourite
who.
Pokemon is Magikarp.
But yeah.
what do you
Yeah.
guys think about that?
No, he. I don't want to say too much, just in case this ends up back at work. But you guys know where I work.
Yeah.
So I have a friend who went to a place.
Okay.
The once a year they take all of the managers to a conference basically.
Right.
And there they were talking with some guys from the Pokemon company. And one of the things they said, they didn't actually say anything like, oh, we're going to do this. They basically said that one of the things the Pokemon company as a whole was looking at was trying to surprise the fans
Yeah.
and stop being so predictable. And that was just before the announcement of Sun and Moon. Which everyone was like, oh, Pokemon Z, that's what it's going to be. Pokemon Z, we're going to get that one. It's going
Which
to be
I'm
the
kind
third
of
game.
sad they didn't do because there were so many
Yeah.
unanswered questions. Like, what were those power plants?
Yeah.
Where did they come from? Why couldn't you get in?
why can't I get
those?
in? Because there was, so basically they said they wanted to, A, surprise the fans a bit more, so they ditched the idea of a third game. And B, one of the other things that they wanted to do, which I don't think is actually going to happen, but what they also said was that they wanted to try and annualize Pokemon.
Which they sort of done. If
They sort of have.
It's at least 1 to 2 years.
Yeah, like they're doing a year between generations, which is a bit better than what they used to do because they did X, Y, Omega Ruby, and Alpha Sapphire one after another. There was a year gap, and then Sun and Moon.
And then Ultra Sun. There's like
Then
there's
Ultra
four
Sun.
like there's 4 series on the 3DS, which is insane.
Yeah,
Well, if following the trend that they're going with now, the next remake would be the Sinnoh regions.
I know, and that's fucking.
That's
scary.
scary because I'm like,
I don't want. I want. Them
I do.
I want them to start with red again.
Just do.
yeah, I wouldn't
I want
mind
Fire
that.
Red.
See, that's the thing. Like, it would make more sense to do
Oh.
Fire Red again because it's a
Yeah.
GBA game.
Water Blue.
But they've already done the remake, which is the only thing
Yeah.
that would stop them from doing that.
I think that Sun and Moon had the nostalgia for Kanto that they wanted to get over. Like they won't remake that game soon. Like I think the Sinnoh remake is a good shout. It's a good next step because, and it won't be until the Switch. Because of the way they've done the remakes in the past. So if you look at Fire Red, Red was on the Game Boy, then they had the Game Boy Color, then they did the GBA, and then they made the remake. And then you've got Gold and Silver, which was on the Color, then there was the GBA, then there was the DS, then they did the remake.
Right.
So they skip one because the graphical difference between the Game Boy and the Color
Yeah.
isn't big enough to make a difference, but the graphical difference between the Game Boy and the Advance was like, holy shit territory.
Yeah.
Same thing with the DS, same thing with the 3DS. They waited an extra bit, and they always wait until the sales numbers are good before they go up, and the Switch is just doing phenomenally. So they're like, well, fuck waiting. Let's go now while the cash cow's
Did they
there.
give a year release?
They said
to
2018 at last E3. I'm pretty sure, but who knows if it's actually going to happen?
Yeah,
I think we'll find out at E3, like around E3. Nintendo will do a direct
Yeah.
and like it's fucking happening, kids.
Fuck that.
What's up, Connect?
I sincerely doubt it will be this year.
Yeah.
It will probably be next year. They'll give themselves an extra year to develop whatever it is. That's what I say as the cynical me.
Yeah.
The optimistic me goes, But there was reports that they've had, like, the Pokemon Company have had their hands on the Switch, like,
For a
build
while, yeah.
for about a year before the Switch was released.
And I also have a feeling they want a fucking Pokemon game to... Because we're all saying we're waiting for Pokemon to come out on the Switch before we
And
buy
there
one.
are
That's 3 sales just there. How many other people are saying
There
that?
are
And they want to
millions.
make that Christmas...
Millions.
They want to make that Christmas quarter look
Super
fucking
Smash
amazing.
Brothers, though.
Super
know.
Smash would get a decent amount, but I just... Like, there's
Like, I know it wouldn't be as high as Pokemon, but like surely they're thinking the same thing.
Let's put it this way. When the 3DS came out, it was in 2012?
Well, yeah.
2012?
Yes.
They didn't release Pokemon X until 2014, I want to say.
Late 2013.
Late 2013.
Simultaneous release, yeah.
So it was 2 years, basically, give or take, because there was a bit of a rough
like
launch.
18
of the 3DS.
months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
before they even decided they wanted to, like, before they even pushed out onto the 3DS.
Fuck, that was when Mega Evolutions first came in.
Yeah, and would you...
I remember the discussions. Oh my god. It was just like, what do you think?
And take a look at the sales numbers of the 3DS in 2012 versus 2013.
Yeah.
2012 was abysmal.
They had to cut the price by $50.
But if you got it before
Worldwide.
that, you got like a bunch of NES and Game Boy games, which is what I got.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I got it
Metroid.
and I had no like good games on it. I think I got Ghost Recon and I was just like,
I
Yeah,
remember that
that-
because you
Jesus.
came over when I
I was
first
just
got
like,
this
but
one.
it's in 3D.
And my eyes hurt and I feel like throwing up, but I don't know why.
I had
It's
Metal Gear-
horrible, but I can do it.
I had Metal Gear 3 as a demo on 3DS, and I'm like, this is not how you should play Metal Gear 3. Like,
I can just imagine a young Dean 3D.
Yeah, but the sales numbers in 2013 when they announced Pokemon, that thing finally stabilized. The Switch is already selling well. They want to
Thanks,
capitalize on it again. They need a big hitter because they did Zelda and Mario Odyssey last year, and those 2 games are phenomenal and amazing, and people love them.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild.
But
yeah.
but they need something big this year. If they don't have one big thing this year,
People would say Metroid Prime 4.
No,
But
no.
I don't think that's coming out.
No.
But and also...
when they announced it, all
It was
they
just a
announced was a
logo.
logo treatment. They're like,
Yeah.
"This is what we think the box art's going to look like."
Yeah.
and everyone went nuts.
I've went nuts and I've never played a Metroid game before then.
I had a thought about also what I want from the Pokemon game.
Yeah.
I want a slight evolution to the way the combat's done.
How so?
I think one of the
ATB system. No.
actually going to go down
That
that
would be
road.
great.
Like I think they should go with more of an active time battle.
But
because
to me, Pokemon is baby's first RPG,
Yeah.
and it will always be that. And that's perfectly fine. But just keep it turn based.
yeah, like I reckon they could do a settings option.
Yeah, that would be great.
Like, hey, I've played Pokemon before. Don't ask me if I'm a boy or a girl. Just get to the
I'm
Pokemon.
both.
Are you assuming my
What's the
gender?
next
Oh,
Pokemon game gonna be like?
yeah, 3 genders.
Are you a boy or a girl?
I'm Professor
transgender?
Oak.
Or are
Yeah.
you gender fluid? Or
Yeah.
What is your sexuality?
Yeah.
just like a really awkward professor, like I'm
Just
sorry.
this like
I'm
one,
sorry, Pokemon trainer son.
just this paragraph of text that just keeps going. Are you like? I don't want to be offensive, but did you like? Can I? Is it okay if I?
Where are you from? No, but where were you born?
Where do you feel you were born?
What time is it? I'm sorry.
Was that your biological mother? I don't. Oh, okay. But I think there should be more activeness in the battle. Like even if they just animated the battles.
Change the name of your mom to like Sharon. Sharon's waiting for you.
If they just made I reckon they would make a big leap if they just animated the battle. Because for years, even in the 3D era, you got 2 Pokemon standing on the side and they just kind of run at each other. If they animated more and kind of like moved around a battlefield, that would be more
I
fun.
feel that's possible, especially on the Switch, because a lot of other turn-based games, like we were talking before briefly about, Cooney.
Yeah.
That's animated. A bunch of turn-based games, like XCOM is animated.
Lost
And that's
Sphere.
I played a little bit of the demo of that. I'm like, I'm not a fan of this,
It's
but yes,
not-
it's still
not the
animated.
greatest, but yeah, like it's a turn-based. Well, it's an ATB system,
Yeah.
but you can move around the battlefield. So it's a Final Fantasy style ATB system, but
It's like a
I
slower
can
version of
actually
Chrono
move.
Trigger.
Yeah, kind of similar. But yeah, I think they could do better with that. There was that Eurogamer article that talked about I don't know if you guys have played any of the Digimon games, like the recent ones. That they'll
You have.
yeah. I got one recently. Next Order.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the one I played.
Yeah, there was a Eurogame article that said that the combat system for the next Pokemon game might be similar to that.
Right.
Well, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
That'll be a first where Pokemon's ripping off Digimon.
Yeah,
That'd be
yeah.
interesting.
Well, I mean,
Imagine all
mega,
the articles out of that.
mega.
Yeah, that's true.
Mega.
Is that
That's a
okay.
Digimon
Because
thing.
Digivolution,
I have no idea.
Digivolving, it was only like semi.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Digivolving is a temporary thing, and also they had a level called Mega.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, like it's not the first
I'm
time.
not
but
super
the two franchises are like forever intertwined.
Yeah.
Like they'll always be bouncing off each other.
Yeah.
But again, Digimon's done the thing that God of War was doing in that they are aging with their audience because Digimon Try.
Have
Have you not?
No.
Okay, so we're going to tangent to Digimon for a second.
For a second.
they releasing a series of anime that is called Digimon Try, which is the very first group of Digidestined, like the first.
Oh, is it
three.
actually? Oh, sweet.
But
Is it like
they're-
Origins?
But they're older.
No, they're teenagers.
Okay.
They're teenagers, and it's brutal.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you guys should check it out. It's awesome. Digimon
'cause I
Digimon
saw-
Adventure Try.
I started rewatching.
It's the second suggestion.
Yeah.
I started rewatching Digimon on Anime Lab, and I was just like, "This is kind of shit."
It's like when you watch any.
I
older-
know.
It was nostalgia, but also I was just like, "It's just the same thing."
If you guys ever
over
watched
and
the
over again.
third season and the fourth season all the way through, that shit gets dark.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like there's a part in the third season where they straight up delete a Digimon. Like, not
Holy
he
fuck.
died and
Something
went to
like
an egg. They straight up murder him.
Holy fuck!
And in season 4, there's like a super crazy like, one of the kids is a twin, and they were separated at birth, and his dad just straight up left his mum
I've actually seen that.
with an affair. And that was in the end of the fourth Digimon season. They go dark places with Digimon.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They decided they didn't want to stick... I don't know whether this is true, but it feels like they decided they didn't want to stick with childish Pokemons type stuff.
Which makes sense because Pokemon's covering that ground.
Yeah, so they're
And
going somewhere else.
Because the whole idea, like, I think the other part of me giving up on Pokemon, especially the anime, was when they finally came out and said, Ash will be 10 years old forever,
Yeah.
and Pikachu will always be Pikachu. I'm like, okay, so now
that's
there's
fair.
no character. Because you remember the part in the dub where, like, where Ash's voice got deeper?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, he's going through puberty. That makes sense. I'm going through puberty as well. You're like, no, he's 10 forever.
Yeah, 10
I'm like,
again.
I'm not 10 forever. I'm
They-
leaving.
They changed at one point. At one point, one of the series, I don't remember which one it was, but one of the series, he was 11.
Oh, really?
The opening narrator that starts every like new arc that's like, this is Ash Ketchum. He said 11 at one
I
point.
think that sounds right.
Was that a fuck up? Or was
It might be Sun and Moon, like the latest one, because in Sun and Moon, the game, you're 11, not 10. Yeah.
Controversy.
Yeah, so they aged it a little bit.
So I've just started up a game of Pokemon Blue, and in the name section it says new name, Blue, Gary, and John.
Is that it?
Where did John come from?
I believe that's just them being like, let's pick the most generic name possible.
Yeah.
But every case,
My name is John.
I love that said Tony for a second.
every kid that ever played that whose name was John felt so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
Or
they-
Gary.
Yeah.
I have an uncle named Gary.
There's some dude named Blue out there.
I was gonna
who's
say
just-
that one guy.
People are nicknamed Blue, like people with red hair are nicknamed Blue because it's
yeah, that sort of
funny.
thing.
But
But yeah, like you should check that out because some of the animation in some of the Digimon fight scenes are really good.
guy?
He's there, but he was older than the other kids.
I thought you could
So,
say, "Oh, he's dead."
He's dead.
Yeah, I know that's what you were
No,
saying.
he was a year or two older than the other kids in the original, so I think he's actually in college now, not in high school.
So he's
So
not going to
he's-
be joining them.
I think he does. He's
From-
there, but he's not.
Ancillary.
Yeah. But the thing is, they go through, and you know how like the main two guys had their Digimon get to the highest level, and everyone else was kind of a step below.
Yeah,
they've gone through and given everyone like higher level.
Oh, really?
definitions. Yeah,
So like, they've gone past the.
past their ultimate. Yeah,
They're mega
to their
ultimate.
mega. So they've got like Hercules, Kabuterimon, and
Jesus Christ.
yeah, crazy
God
stuff.
mode.
So yeah, like
First following Dragon Ball as opposed to Pokemon.
yeah, kind of, yeah. Because there's they introduce a new Digimon that kind of like appears out of nowhere, and it stands there, and it's super powerful, and it just like, I think it's Birdramon comes out it, and it just grabs it out of the air and just throws it on the ground, and it's just like, fuck you. Like,
I never liked Pokemon anyway, so.
yeah, and like they're all charging, and it's just like, it was very Dragon Ball esque of just like grabbing them, throwing them out of the way, just like straight up screwing them up and not moving very much, and you're like, Jesus!
We need a power boost.
Yeah. So yeah, Digimon tries. If you, that's
When's
what you
that
wanted from
coming out?
Pokemon, it's already out. Like I think there's only like they're like mini movies. They're like 90-minute episodes. So I think there's 4 of them, and I think the last one's about to come soon.
But it's called Try.
Yeah. Try. Yeah, I don't know what try means. Maybe there's 3. I don't know.
It should. I don't know. But getting back to Pokemon.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
What for the Switch? What do you want that game to be? It can be whatever you want it to be, in theory.
Not a fuck up.
Turn-based strategy, you know.
Fire.
I would like
Become the
it to
Fire
Fire
Emblem game.
game. Can I have Pokemon Warriors Legends?
That's coming. I feel.
That's coming.
You know how Hyrule.
Actually, no, the Pokemon Conquest.
The what?
A Hyrule Warrior. It's a
Dynasty Warriors. They did that. Pokemon Conquest. I forgot about that.
Okay.
They did that already on the 3DS.
Look, I don't know what specifically I want. Like, ideally, you know, it'd be great to get all the regions and you travel between them, blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah,
but-
and you bring your Pokemon, but it wouldn't work. That many gyms, that many battles, it would be too long. Your Pokemon would have to go higher than level 100. It just...
Why
Yeah,
can't it?
and you'd have to scale it in some way.
Yeah, it would
like,
just-
or you'd have
massive
to, you'd have to be like, oh, you get to the 6th region and suddenly everything's level 99.
Yeah.
That was
Plus,
like
it would
the-
also
that-
it would screw with competitive play as well a lot, in the sense that like...
Well, that's the thing I was wondering, because if they change up the battle system, competitive will go. So,
Ooh,
like,
it's
can
mine.
they change up the battle system?
I
Like,
assume so.
is
Maybe
there a
if
way
they
to
have
change
two
it up?
different types. So like if they have
A competitive mode and a...
like a vanilla and then just
Yeah.
like...
Or if there's just a competitive multiplayer mode, but when you're playing in the story, you get the
'Cause
whatever fancy
well,
one.
There have been some games, I couldn't name any at the moment, but like surely there's been games where they've had sequels come out and the competitive has to have changed. Like, I mean, they introduced
the
Mega
meta
Evolution,
changes.
that
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's adding a
it more or
mechanic
less-
into an existing system.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know of any...
I
Like,
suppose there's no competitive like
Street Fighter didn't start out as a card game. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's difficult for the competitive to change completely, because we're talking about base mechanics.
Yeah.
So, I would think that maybe they have a
fucking
turn-based...
do it. He's choosing Bulbasaur.
What a douchebag!
Well, Bulbasaur can learn Solar Beam.
You have no
so-
friends, don't you?
Not in Gen 1 it can't.
Oh, okay.
No.
What?
In
I
Gen
said
1
Solar
it's
Beam.
Solar Beam,
most...
yeah, no.
No, but in Gen 1 its most powerful move is like Vine Whip or some
Or
shit.
Razor Leaf.
Yeah. Razor Leaf, actually, I think that was its most powerful
That's
move.
not that good.
No. Which is
me-
why no one picked it back then.
For me, I think my favorite, like the best way a a game could go on the Switch, especially if it's like the first time they're bringing a Pokemon game for the TV. Well, I mean, like
Yeah, it's a hybrid. Yeah,
you
yeah.
can use it on the TV. I think it would be fantastic if they took the step further. And I know Pokemon's already kind of like open world and stuff, but I feel like it would be much better because as the years have gone by, they've made it go from top down further and further.
You want
behind.
straight up third person.
I want it to be like a
Third
third person
person.
camera view,
And then
like,
click
you can
R3,
move
make
around.
it first person.
No, definitely not that. But
They
like,
jump
when
in a
you go
car
into
and grab like a crowbar and just start beating Pokemon like GTA.
But when you go into like a battle, it could still like do pretty much the same
Yeah.
thing, except without something coming up, it could just be like exposition between the two trainers and then go in. Like they don't have to have
You
speech.
just like throw out your Pokemon
Yeah.
and like move it around.
I always thought it would be cool if they did, like, if you throw out your Pokemon, and then you enter into battle and you use the analog stick to move it, and Pokemon's got 4 attacks, you've got 4 face buttons.
That's true.
Like, you're literally dodging around and then going, okay,
The-
Thunderbolt, 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 defense go.
The only thing then, would you still have to leave the like D-pad to select items and stuff like that?
Yeah, you could do that and use the shoulder buttons for, like, pause menu so I can go into my bag. The
But
only
again,
thing...
with competitive. With competitive,
That would be a problem, but the thing is, it turns into more of a fighting game then, and less of a turn-based strategy.
But then you've just got
But the thing is, you could use the same thing. Like, you could say, like, there's a competitive mode with a turn-based, and all you do is just take this Pokemon into the competitive mode. It's got its 4 moves.
but you just can't control it.
Yeah, you just can't control it. You just go
I
into
suppose
it.
it would be the same in the sense like you can love your Pokemon in the new games and they can be like, oh, it dodged because it loves you, or it hit a critical because it loves you. But then in competitive, it took it out completely.
Yeah, it doesn't do that.
Yeah.
And that would be the same thing, is that, like, you can move and dodge. I think it would be I think that's the next step, is to try and animate it and have you like actually controlling the moves of the Pokemon.
Well,
Because the only
is-
thing that would stop is that you would probably have to remove the accuracy and maybe not speed, but the accuracy might have to be removed and changed in some way, because you would be aiming attacks rather than it just being a score out of
Maybe
100.
if they had like a larger reticle for more accurate moves.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
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 I don't know. What was I saying? There is a it's like pre-alpha. It's a fan made game, which is like kind of like an MMO.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Its combat system is kind of like that.
Okay. By pre-alpha, you mean about to be NDA'd by Nintendo?
Possibly.
Right.
I downloaded it and I tried it, and leveling is just impossible. But yeah, like you basically you make your you make Pokemon faint and then you throw Pokeballs at it, and it's just like, oh, I caught the first 3 starters. You can't. I haven't seen an evolution in it yet.
Okay, yeah. That's sort of
leveling is just too difficult. There's no real story to it. It's just kind of like open world, run around, see Pokemon.
It's one thing I don't like about the fan games is they too tend to just throw everything in there. Like, I want all of the things. Like, guys, like a Pokemon game, it's just a Pokemon game. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. That's the problem with trying to make it.
I will say this, I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
I can't wait for it to come out. Whatever it is.
If they fuck it up, try
I
again.
don't think it can.
They can't. But
Like, had there ever been a fucked up Pokemon game? The only thing that can be fucked up is your expectations for this game, and then it not being a fucking Skyrim.
And
or
even
whatever.
then, when like
I personally didn't like the Unova region. Like, I
Oh,
didn't,
me neither.
I didn't mind. I
But I
didn't
didn't
mind some of
play
the Pokemon that came from it, but like just.
I think it was similar for me in Sun and
felt
Moon.
rushed.
Is that I think Black and White 2 were better. I like the story in the Unova region. Pokemon, but like I said, they actually, I think they sold better than Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah, well, Diamond
That would
Pearl
make
was very.
sense.
I don't know.
There were more
People were just
DSs by the
Do they
time.
have to make a 4th region?
Black and White came out.
Yeah, I mean Diamond and Pearl was weird, but like you're right. They've never really fucked up a Pokemon game. It always does well. It always sells over 10 million units, which is bonkers for any game.
Yeah. That's 10 million cumulatively, isn't it?
Usually between the two
Yeah.
versions, yeah. Which, you know, and it's weird because you don't take into account like there's a bunch of people that buy both.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how they get that.
But either way, that's 10 million sales.
Yeah, that's
you know.
$60 million, $600 million.
Yeah.
Completely unrelated to Pokemon, but I found out, I've already told you, but I found out this week, Zoids is getting a new series.
What?
Yeah. And it's really weird. It's going to be called Zoids Wildlands, and they're going to be riding on the backs.
So they're going to be like going into cocaine country? Is that what they're
I
doing?
don't know. It's like you ride on the back of the Zoid instead of in the cockpit.
Dude,
Oh,
Ghost
cool.
Recon.
It's super weird.
Yeah, Ghost Recon Wildlands.
It's not
Kill the dude in the
Wild
cowboy hat and
Frontiers.
take his cocaine.
It's not Wild
I remember that
Frontiers.
episode.
I could be that
Wild
one.
Frontiers.
There's no Wikipedia page for it.
Man,
There's
that's
only
just the
There was
backstory of
only like
Zoids.
one website on it. It was only like announced. Like,
Dude, I loved
last
Zoids.
week.
That sounds very
Well,
familiar. No, because they did. Well,
Is it
they
a
did
Netflix
what
show?
was the second series called like Chaos Century or whatever.
There was
New
Chaotic Century, then New Century, then Fusels, then Gen.
I didn't like Fuses.
Fusels was the worst.
The animation in Fuses was bad.
Animation was bad, story was bad, the whole concept was interesting, but they didn't deliver it properly.
Because so is the New Century the one with like
Bit Cloud.
Big Cloud? That's the one with the tournaments.
Yeah,
I liked that.
I liked that one, and I loved Chaotic Century because there's a nice war story to it, and like
Yeah.
there was awesome character development.
Yeah,
But-
and that was the one with like the mini
Yeah.
ones that can like
Yeah,
fuse
organoids.
with them. Yeah,
and that's where people
right.
were like,
What?
"Oh, that's how Zoids have their
So
own
does
personality."
Chaotic Century come before
Before.
New Century, so
It
it's
goes
technically a
chaotic.
prequel.
Then
Chaotic
New-
New Fuses
Fusels.
Genesis.
And that was the thing, is that like the Liger Zero in the first one had an organoid in it, but it was like
Spider-Man
stuck in
Zoids?
it.
Yeah, Spider-Man and Zoids is a comic series by Marvel UK to tie in with the toys of the same game. This is a comics anthology series included reprints of Spider-Man and original Zoid story. So it's not even actual crossover.
Rule 34, people. Rule 34.
It's just a what the fuck?
Yeah.
Spider-Man and Zoids is notable for featuring early work by Grant Morrison, who's a crazy good comic book writer.
Jesus.
Crazy.
What the fuck?
Not gonna lie, I just looked
Cracks
at my watch
Commandos.
and the hour hand was hidden, and I thought it was midnight, and I shut my pants.
You're fine. You're fine.
It's 8
But
o'clock, so it's
Genesis was amazing. It was only subbed, but it was amazing.
Genesis?
Yes.
That's
It came after Fusors.
Huh.
A lot of new Zoids. Again, it was about like a war-torn world. It was based in a
So it's Gundam.
It was post-apocalyptic,
It's Gundam.
it sounds like
I guess.
Horizon Zero Dawn. It's like Bioraptor, Biomegaraptor.
It's Gundam, but with animal
Or maybe
robots
Yeah,
instead
and
of.
Zero Dawn sounds
Well,
like...
that would make more sense because it's older.
It went to a much darker place than any of the other Zoids did, because
Okay.
all the other Zoids, it's like, oh, you pilot these Zoids and they do what you want, but sometimes the Zoids have personality, so you got to be careful. But in Zoids Genesis, Zoids required fuel, which you had to get from stations that this army was going around blowing up or taking over.
Huh.
And if your fuel, if this tree that gave you the fuel to fuel the Zoids, if it was destroyed, your town's crops and everything would just go. You would have no water, no anything. It all ran through that tree. And they ended up splicing people's souls out of their body so that they could put them into these mech suits so that they could pilot Zoids without having to be compatible.
That's some like
Yeah, that took a turn.
Yeah,
That's
it was
just
like really dark. Like
Wow.
you didn't know any of this at the start, and then about halfway through, you find out all this dark shit, and then the main character is just like, I want to kill everyone.
That's pretty cool.
And then his Zoid
Maybe we should check
ends
that
up.
out.
They do something really interesting too. It's called evolting, not evolving. So he like can change. He can evolve his Zoid into another Zoid, but then it goes back to its original state, and there's 3
Right.
different forms. So it's like transformation, I guess.
Yeah, kind of like how Bit had the
Yeah, it was sort of like CAS, except he could have. His normal had like a big sword, and then he had one with two little swords that could go very fast. Then one with 2 big swords, and then one with 1 really big sword.
anime
Sensing a
swords.
theme.
Yeah.
But like ultimately, the ending, it was just his original form that won.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, that was
And
the
it
same.
turns out that all of these people were actually like all the people from before the apocalypse. All the rich people got into this man-made Zoid that they had in the sky, and it was just in the sky the entire time. So all of these rich people,
It's aristocrats and a
It
giant
was just
whale
like
Zoid. Yeah, got
everyone
it.
else sort of survived the apocalypse, but we're just up here. We still know everything.
Oh,
that's
so
happened.
it's the purge.
yeah, kind of.
Speaking of anime, what do we all think of the Pokemon anime?
Which one?
All of them.
Don't like how they changed the art design, but
Yeah, for the new one.
They're changing it again.
really,
It
Yeah.
pissed me off because I really liked like how serious X and Y was.
I'm indifferent to the series, but the X, Y, and Z, that was really cool.
Yeah,
that was
and then
really
they
cool.
went to Alola, and it was just like, dance moves! And it's like, we're not 12 anymore.
No.
very big smile.
I really liked the like couple of episodes where they went with like Ash Greninja. Like I didn't like the idea of Ash Greninja, but I liked the idea of that Ash and Greninja get so in sync that Ash feels every blow that Greninja takes in the
And
battle.
like gave him his own Mega Evolution purely because of that bond.
Yeah, and then at the end of the battles, though, when Greninja would stop, Ash would pass out, and you're like, "Whoa, fuck, shit! Like, is he okay?" And I was like,
Wasn't
"Ooh,
there like a movie or something where they were like before like Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon came out and they were like advertising the new things that could attach to the legendary Pokemon, like the other Pokemon or something.
oh yeah, the
Dark Knight.
Necrozma, yeah.
They were advertising that through this movie or episode or something. And it was like supposed to be the first time Ash and Pikachu could actually sync up or something, like through Z moves or something.
Yeah, they've done
And
that a
then-
couple of times.
What, Ash Pikachu?
Yeah, and then they did it, and then Pikachu like absolutely fucking destroyed Sogol.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of annoyed me that they didn't give that connection to Ash and Pikachu because they knew each other for so long. And then it was just like, and now this random Pokemon that he met at the start of his journey here, he's, able to synchronize with because they have such a great bond.
That is one actual thing that has actually been consistent through all the Pokemon series, is that he has Pikachu consistently, but he always bonds with a starter from that region. So it's Charizard in the opening. He doesn't evolve anyone in Johto, so they kind of skipped. Oh no, he evolves Chikorita.
He
but
gets a Bailey.
It's a
Yeah.
Bailey,
Chikorita's a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's the reason that I didn't know Meganium existed for a very long time.
Yeah,
I was
because
just
he doesn't.
Oh, Chikorita's the only one that only has one evolution. And
Yeah.
then I got a Chikorita in one game, and I was like, this shouldn't be happening. And I
This
had a
is
Meganium.
wrong. This is wrong on so many levels. But yeah, and then in Hoenn, he's got Sceptile. In Sinnoh,
I like Sceptile.
it's Infernape, even though he also gets a Torterra, but it's Infernape that has that
Infernape's
bond.
the one,
In Unova, it's Oshawott.
Yes.
I don't think so.
He has an Oshawott.
Yeah, he gets.
And
an
that's the
Oshawott,
one
but I don't think he bonds with it. I think it's more Snivy.
Well, he doesn't really evolve any of them.
He doesn't evolve. Oh wait, D-Watt. He
Yeah.
gets a D-Watt.
Yeah, and he gets a Pignite as well.
Does he get a Samura?
I don't think so. I don't think he fully evolves any of the Unova Pokemon.
Ash is trash.
Ash is
Maybe
trash.
he only got. Yeah, maybe it was Pignite, D-Watt, and
Snivy.
Servine.
No, he didn't have Servine either.
Did you not get a Servine?
No, he goes into the fucking Pokemon League with a Snivy.
That's
What the fuck?
Yeah. But he always bonds with a Pokemon that's external to Pikachu, because Pikachu's always there, but he bonds with one that's there.
There was I
To get him
remember
to
when I
save a
watched the
Yeah,
Pokemon
yeah.
League, the Pokemon League episodes for the Diamond and Pearl series, and he got Pokemon that he grew up with, like that he
We have
had
to
from
be
past
rolling on
adventures.
We should.
Oh god, I fucking hope so.
I think we have a full 2 hours.
Okay.
I don't have that.
Like I remember he brought in Charizard at one point. He brought back his
Yeah,
he brought back Glalie.
Yeah, he brought them all in to try and do like this big,
Yeah.
like I'm going to use all the Pokemon from all the leagues
And
that
then,
I've used.
yeah, but then I watched the X and Y, and he didn't do that. And
Nope.
It was just like
Well, it was weird because he kind of did this. He kind of did the same thing that he did in Hoenn, which was like, I want to just use Pokemon from this region, which was a cool idea because it means that he can use new Pokemon and
It was
they can
super
sell new
sad,
merchandise.
though.
Yeah, it was
So
a soft
fucking-
reboot. The whole.
It's super
Yeah.
sad though, because at the end of the Johto, he's like, "Bye."
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And
Boy.
it's just like Pikachu's like, "Please don't leave me."
The thing that annoyed me though was that I think it was is it Unova or Sinnoh? One of them ends in a real cop out. I think it's Sinnoh.
It puts him in the PC and leaves.
No, he like the opponent that knocks him out has like 2 legendaries.
oh
on his
yeah,
team.
that's
Oh.
right.
And you're like, fuck off!
He's
Like,
got,
what is
he's,
that?
He like the guy that he fights goes through the whole Pokemon League just using a Darkrai and beating all of his opponents with just Darkrai. And Ash is like, well, fuck, I have to fight him in the semifinals, and so he goes up against him, ends up taking down Darkrai, and then it's just Sceptile and Pikachu left, and he fucking throws out a Lugia, and he's just like,
No, it's a
wow.
Latios. It's a Latios.
Oh, was it a Latios?
Yeah.
Ah,
What series was
If
it?
it was a Lugia, I'd be like, "Okay." that's
Sinnoh,
not fair.
yeah.
Yeah,
So Diamond
okay.
and Pearl
But
stuff.
yeah, he just goes through with the Darkrai, and then he's like, oh, Latios, and he's like, shit.
Because I remember they started doing that.
I think he knocked out the Latios with Pikachu.
No. Yes, he did. He knocked out the
He
Latios
did.
with Pikachu, but
But
Pikachu
Pikachu
also
was his
knocked
last
out.
one.
Yeah. So they both went down.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was such a like because every time Ash got knocked out of a Pokemon League, what they would usually do is they would use someone from the next region over, using a Pokemon or using something
That Ash had never experienced
yeah,
before.
never seen before, or at the very least, like they were using like maybe because I think in Kanto it's Richie that knocks him out because his Charizard fucks off and takes a nap. But at the very least, it was someone that Ash would have grown a connection either through the league or something that would make you go, actually, if I went to another region, maybe I'll get stronger. But this guy just comes in with a Darkrai, wipes the floor with everyone, and is like,
Do you ever see him again?
no.
Yeah, no. I think he
His
just
name's
showed
Tobias, and he's a giant douchebag.
Up.
It's so
he just
fucking
showed
dumb.
up for the Pokemon League.
Does he?
And
It would,
he's
it would
Darkrai
make
and
sense
the
if he was like a part of Team Rocket, and they're like, "We've been doing
They
this."
literally
I think-
just
I
wrote
think
this
they-
character. They wrote this character to knock Ash out of the Pokemon.
I think
He's
they got,
sounds like a bad Jiren.
Bad Jim.
Yeah.
I think they got.
Ash couldn't go for instance.
Oh, I forgot what I was saying now.
Sorry, D.
No, it's alright. With the last guy, he knocked him out with his Darkrai as well. So technically, Ash was the.
Ash was the only one.
To me,
yeah.
Ash came second.
Ash was the only one in the league who was able to knock out a Pokemon of that dude. He won the last one with the one Pokemon as well. But they literally made this character, which they haven't done for any other series. They just made this character to knock Ash out.
They made him have a bond with Ash as well.
Yeah.
Like at the end, they were just like, "Oh, let's be friends," and I was like,
and then you just never see him again.
Yeah,
this
like,
dude with legendary Pokemon, 2 of them
Just came out
that
of
he
nowhere.
caught in regular Pokeballs,
Yeah.
just vanishes.
I would be really pissed though if it was any of the legendary Pokemon from the first 2 regions, because they're supposed to be like, you can't get more of those unless there was like Entei in that. But it was supposed to be like, you can't have any more of those. Lugia, there is 1 Lugia. Moltres,
That's not true.
That's not
There
true.
was an episode.
There was an episode where there was 2.
Yeah, Team Rocket. I think they tried to steal baby Lugias. And Lugia
There's
was-
basically the definition of legendary has kind of shifted over the years. It's no longer like 1. It's just that these are ultra rare, and at some point in their existence, they were worshipped as deities.
I just
because
remember
they were so rare.
some
ultra
things.
rare and super strong.
Have you guys heard this fan theory? I just heard it last night that Red and Blue take place in kind of a post-apocalyptic world.
The Pokemon War.
Yeah, the Pokemon
Yeah.
Wars. That's why no one has dads. There's Giovanni, there's Lieutenant Sarge, and that's basically it as for older men. And like Lieutenant Sarge fought in
No, I am
this war.
Professor Oak, but yeah.
Sorry?
It still fits into the whole thing.
You know,
Oh,
Professor Oak, the whole thing is like he was too old to do it.
Yeah. So they were. What is they doing? Do you know this theory better than me?
Maybe, I don't know.
I only heard this
Basically,
last
there's-
night. I've only heard like this is the best
Yeah.
thing ever. And then like that's why all these 10-year-olds, because like their dads were soldiers, so they're basically child soldiers trying to like fight and be the best.
Yeah.
To try and emulate their dads and just fighting with animals.
So there's a part of the theory that's like the reason the world is so utopic is because it went through a world war with Pokemon, and all the fathers kind of die off, and all the governments kind of create this thing of like, okay, how do we stop this from happening again? Because all these people got Pokemon and started killing each other for no reason. Alright, cool. We create a Pokemon League. We create these Pokeballs to contain and train them. We limit you to having only 6 at
I feel
any
this
one
is
time.
also kind of hinted in the Lucario movie,
Yeah.
where there is an actual Pokemon War.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's
Well,
also
in X and Y, they
Yeah.
talk about the Pokemon War.
Really?
yeah. But that war happened like 1,000 years
Yeah.
ago.
Oh yeah.
But like it's happened a couple of times through history, and yeah.
That
so,
still pisses me off. How is that guy still alive?
yeah. I know, right?
The other thing is that Mewtwo is created
was
sort of as like a
everyone.
nuclear weapon type thing.
Yeah.
Just because he's a clone of Mew, so like fuck, we can't get Mew. Let's clone him.
So he's basically the nuke.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
basically the nuke.
He's
but
the
then
nuclear option.
Mew goes rogue, and
Yeah.
Mewtwo rather goes rogue, and that's why he's hiding.
There's
in
like a
cave.
full timeline someone wrote up
Yeah.
of like what happens through the steps of the war, and how like as soon as you get to Red and Blue, it's like it's a few years after the war, things are starting to calm down. The governments have decided Pokemon League. This is how we're gonna vent everyone's anger, but make sure everyone's still kept in check. Universal healthcare, like everything's starting to go roses, and it's a really interesting idea.
To me, in Gold and Silver, which is the sequel,
Also,
Kanto
it makes
looks-
sense as to why there's so many ruins and ghost stories.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
for me, Kanto is sort of run down in Gold and Silver. When you go back there, it's just like nothing. Maybe it's just because it's not new and fresh, but it always just seems like this is just another place. Like there's a couple places that are like cobwebby and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
It's more abandoned. It's a bit more sparse.
Yeah.
Like, there's not
Yeah.
many places to go. Not as many things
Yeah.
to do.
And
That's
then
true.
you
And there's
go
a
on Battle
lot of,
Red,
like,
which is like the coolest thing ever.
Game, so
Yeah.
it could just be.
Well, you know, like in the original Gold and Silver, they had to get someone to come. Like it was Iwata, the now deceased, rest in peace,
Nintendo.
president of Nintendo, came in to recode the entire game by himself so they could fit both regions onto the cartridge.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't physically possible. So he came in and just like they said, like by himself, he sat down and just recoded the entire game so that it would work.
Jesus.
Because
And
the
like,
dude was a legend.
Dedication.
Yeah.
so did you like? For me, fighting Red at the end of Gold and Silver is
Well, I only ever did it in Heart Gold. I never
it's still
did it in
like
the
still
original.
pretty good if you've.
It's a
played
cool
Kanto
moment.
first.
It was a cool moment.
Like and you get like he's basically Ash in terms of like he has a Blastoise, a Pikachu, Charizard, Venusaur.
Snorlax and
Lapras.
Lapras.
Yeah, and it's like this is the coolest fucking shit.
It's a cool
ever.
team, and it kicks
Scared the
ass.
fuck out of me. 'Cause
Yeah.
I saw the Pikachu and I was like, this will be easy. And then it used Volt Tackle and whatever Pokemon I was using, it took it out in one hit. I was like,
Yeah, it's like yeah. It's an insane team, and
I think that's what I want would be for the Switch games to like set up this thing and then do an actual sequel to it, and not like Black and White 2, but an actual like you go to the last region.
So you want to carry on your new character per game? Is that what you're trying to say? Like carry on with your character?
Well,
that'd be cool.
That would be interesting. But what I'm saying is
so
just
much DLC in the world nowadays.
Yeah, that would be cool. Like you could, if you finish the game and then you can pick it up and like they do a sequel 2 years later that you actually pick up your character. You do the same thing the Pokemon.
But you wouldn't be able to take any Pokemon with you. Like
no, you do that. You do the same thing that the Pokemon show does. Is that you drop your Pokemon off at the start, you go to the region, and at the end of the game you get them back.
But I'm more thinking like without character, the events you still carry on to the next game. Like
so you want choices as well?
No. Just what Gold and Silver did to Red and Blue. You're a completely new character, completely new thing. But you go and you finish Johto, go back, well, whatever the new region would be. You go back to the previous region,
you go back to the
any previous region at this point, and just see how that world has changed.
So like,
and then you battle the new champion.
So you want to battle like Red, Gold?
Well, I don't know, like any of that, but like even if you battle the last person, this would be like 2 generations of Switch games. So you play the first one, you're like, it's just a Switch game. The second one, the second generation of that, you're like, I fight the dude
from the first one.
I don't know, Woolies.
It would be cool if they didn't just always throw the nostalgia thing at Gen 1. Like if they went back and said, let's say at the top of this mountain in Generation 8 there's Gold. Test your skills against him. Like, okay, cool. Like that'd be fun.
Yeah,
I'd do that.
What would he have?
He'd have a Typhlosion. That was the thing that he always had in the anime and the manga.
Yeah, but I mean, Red, he didn't have all. I suppose if you're going off Origins, he caught every Pokemon in the first.
Exactly. Yeah. So Gold has a Typhlosion. I know that much, and then there's a
Silver's the rival in that game. He's a little redhead kid.
Sure, we'd be able to Google it.
Yeah, I'm sure we can figure it out, like what Gold's team is, because there's a manga with him. I think so. Yes, he did have a Jolteon. Yes.
I was going to say Ampharos, but I knew he had a different one.
He had a Rayquaza. He had
bullshit. He had a Darkrai.
Yeah, Darkrai.
That's the thing. Like that's also where I stopped watching Pokemon.
What?
Was when like Cynthia killed not Goku, Ash with a Rayquaza.
Fucking Jared.
With Rayquaza, like they
killed what?
Cynthia used Rayquaza to kill Ash's team. It wasn't Rayquaza. It's the same Pokemon. They just fucked up his name.
Wasn't that? Oh, you mean like they pronounced it Rayquaza?
Yeah, well, they pronounced it wrong, and it's just a legendary. Like, it's just a person has a captured land.
Well, Cynthia, that's what she has.
Well, not in the game.
Not in the game, no. But, like,
but I'm saying in the anime, I'm like, I don't like that regular people have captured legendaries. Well, and then it loses luster, and now legendaries mean fuck all now.
I think
what I never really understood about things like Deoxys is like, are they actually alien? Are they Pokemon? Or
no, Deoxys is an alien.
It's actually an alien.
It's just a fucking alien that they came to Earth, and this 10-year-old is like, I'm fucking catching you.
Hells yeah.
I think.
Do you reckon they came from the same planet as
the episode you're
Clefable?
thinking of was when Miss Magius was fucking with people's dreams or something.
Yeah.
I definitely would have had a rival.
I'm fighting the champion.
He never had a.
She had a Rayquaza.
Yeah, he never had a Rayquaza. She never had one.
I don't think.
I'm pretty sure.
Not legit.
No. Just in the dream.
It would have been that one, right? Would have been that one.
I don't tell me how to fucking
No, that's got Sinnoh stuff. I think that might be the most accurate, like with the red Gyarados and stuff.
Yeah.
Golem.
There's no Typhlosion or anything.
I think the Typhlosion's in the manga, so
yeah,
I guess it depends on your interpretation of how he starts.
God, Politoed.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
But yeah, if they allowed us to fight those past characters, that would be cool.
More than just red and blue.
Yeah. I think
green.
Yeah.
See, that would be fucking awesome if they pulled green
out.
Like
the Pokemon League.
Yeah, like
just like
Elite Four.
You fought the past characters. They were like the gyms, I guess, and then like the last 4 or 5.
Yeah, I think I'm over the red and blue nostalgia. Like, just
fair enough.
Stop pandering to those Gen 1 bastards.
If they were to do it with them as the Pokemon League, I would still want Red to be the champion.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But
Like, that makes
I think-
sense, but, like, I want more than just red.
I would
being-
love some lore in it.
Yeah, that's
like
like
some story.
Well, you're asking too much.
Well,
apparently
actually,
Pokemon has been like dropping shit.
for
quite-
years.
yeah.
Yeah. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon has a good story.
Yeah.
It's a
Pick it
better
up.
story.
I say I'm gonna have to pick it up. I'm gonna have to fucking finish Sun yet.
It's
I
honestly,
think I got up to just before the Legendary.
it takes place in alternate timelines, so you actually don't need to complete Sun to get any of it.
Yeah, I know, but just like the chronological thing, and like, there's no point in getting a new one when I haven't finished the other one.
In terms of
I honestly, at this point, I would say anyone who hasn't played Sun or Moon, just go straight to Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon, because Sun and Moon. Once I played Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, I was like, I'm never touching the other two ever again, because they're slower, they're boring, they're easier. Sorry, Pokemon, but you didn't fuck up. Like, they were good games when they came out, but they've made such a better thing that, like, why would you bother? It's kind of the problem, but hey.
Yeah, he's got a new DS. Mine's breaking.
I think you just wait for a Switch pause.
Yeah, just get a Switch. Get a Switch.
All right, this was really fun.
Yeah.
This went a lot over time, but I think
3 hours.
no, it's only nearly 2 hours.
Only
But,
nearly 2 hours.
But you know, if you enjoyed this episode, which I did, I'm going to give it a like, and you should too. Please subscribe, hit that bell. Be sure to check out other content, Dragon Ball Super discussion video. Again, no pizza time this week. Fuck. But we will have our Let's Plays of Dragon Ball Fighters. If you have any comments, if you have any questions, comment below or email us at
Amalgam's how.
Amalgam show, you idiot.
Gmail.com.au.
and
Not
until,
without the AU though.
and what would you like to see from Pokemon Woolies and Coles? Until next time,
Stupid.
catch you later.
God damn it.
Bye.